Hello, everybody. It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with, I would say, a VV Omi update video, but for the most part, it's just going to be a couple of buddies. I will ask them about the Earth 2. I will ask them about I think you already know Zach Kehley, and there he is with the guitar. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. Am I the only one here?
Yeah, I just started.
Oh my God. Of course I'm the one that's punctual.
I think. Oh wait, who's dad? Is dad? That's definitely
It could be anybody. That's the sad part.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh
There's
my God,
dad.
he looks cuter than I remember.
Yeah,
That's you though.
you remember.
But like, you're like a real dad now. So are you saying like dad in context to me being my dad?
Well, I had it as your boy, and then Kathy was like, "No, make it dad." So I'm your boy, dad.
Oh, hi. Oh wait, we gotta get. There we go.
Oh, this is not a good angle for me.
Well,
What are you guys doing?
we're talking about space time is what we're doing.
Space time.
Yeah. So I had asked the question if aliens were edible or not, and then we just got off on this whole conversation of space time. Yeah. What is your take? Do you think aliens are edible? And with the space time continuum, how do you think we're going to be able to go and communicate with them?
Why would we communicate with something we can eat?
Well, see, here's the thing. What if they're like rancher aliens, and and they're super intelligent, and they think, okay, well, humans are dangerous, so let's give them these lesser being aliens as like a gift so they can eat. But what if those lesser beings are around the same intelligence as us, and they could like communicate with their minds? Like, I don't know if I could eat that, you know?
Did you guys get high?
I wish.
No. That's just my mind got a little different since the last time we were. Yeah. So Zach, you're still in New Jersey, right?
Hell yeah, brother.
All right. And I visited Dad last year. Dad, are you in the same place? Are you in?
No, we're not in Philly no more. We moved all the way a whole 30 miles.
Where are you at now?
Into Chester County.
Oh God, dude.
Hey, you
why is Chester County bad?
About time. Look who decided to show up.
So I was trying to do it on my iPad, but it's not working for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, I know.
You guys are just like excuses.
No, I am. So now I'm like on my phone. I'm still trying to like get it pulled up on my iPad.
Dude, he lives in the South for like 2 weeks again, and he's already tan as shit. Look at that.
Yes,
Dude,
I
you're
am.
darker than me. Like I'm whiter than you.
Barely.
That's amazing. You look great. Got the beard going there.
I gotta get a beer now since everybody's here. I gotta get a beer now.
Get it. Oh, look at that
I
booty.
already have one. What are you doing?
He's a noob. He's a noob. What you got? What you drinking over there?
Voodoo Ranger. It's a beer.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's one of those mass-produced IPAs that tastes like every other mass-produced IPA.
I can't get into them.
Yeah.
Danielle's she's like the third girl I've dated that's like, do you have any IPAs? What are your IPAs like? And I was like, date one of those girls again. They just find me, bro.
You got a type, and that type's apparently hipsters.
I guess so.
Like when are you supposed to move down south? Finally leave New York?
Probably by October. That should, and it was supposed to be last year, but we could not find a place that we had liked. So we'll move that to October this year. I was gonna like let the housing market kind of crash before we kind of go get something.
Right. That's gonna happen for a while.
Yeah, and also like it's like late April, and the other night it was like barely above freezing. I was like, I'm never doing this again. I'm not spending half my life being cold.
I remember that status you posted on Facebook when you said that, and I was like, he's not wrong.
It's horrible. But yeah, so I'll be going to Florida probably in October. I'll find something.
It is like sinking, right?
I've been hearing that, for like since I was a kid, like since like the Al Gore era, like, oh, Florida's gonna be underwater in 20 years, and 30 years later, here we are.
It will be. I'm telling you, it's already happening in Miami.
I mean, I imagine it probably is, but we'd be a little slightly more inland in like Orlando. We'd still get rocked with a hurricane if that ever came in. But.
Well, if you're going to move to Orlando, at least wait until they figure out what the hell they're going to do with that whole like Disney no longer being it.
God, yeah.
Dude, this could not have come at a worse time. Like I invested all my money in a company that's partnered with Disney, and this like bad news is making everything go not good.
So wait, can you somebody break it down for me? I know that they had essentially they could govern themselves essentially. I have no idea
They used to be able to.
It goes back to like the 1960s, I think. Whenever what attracted Disney to Florida was pretty much the state government of Florida at the time said, hey, if you locate your new theme park here, in addition to all these tax incentives, will also allow you to pretty much operate as your own county government. So Disney,
I'm supposing that has something to do with it.
Yeah, Disney pretty much operates its own police force, its own solid waste services, its own firefighters, its own EMSs. And basically what happens is now, if they don't challenge it in court, is by like 1 July of next year, that special district gets dissolved. And now the two surrounding counties that Disney is actually located in will have to assume all that responsibility and their debt, because per the agreement that was set up, whenever Disney first came there, was that if should they ever lose like that special privilege that they have, then whatever counties step in to take over also takes all of Disney's debt, which is about $1 billion.
So like, why, from a political standpoint, knowing that it makes more of a disadvantage for the state of Florida to do that?
It's all political posturing. So basically, what this bill that passed and that the governors signed into law in Florida was that after 1 July 2023, Disney could come back to the state legislature and request to be a special district again or whatever. This is all political. This is all Ron DeSantis trying to burnish his credentials and shore up the Republican base, as he undoubtedly is going to make a 2024 presidential run if Donald Trump.
He's the guy. So
yeah, it's all political posturing, and I think that's what the sad state of our politics is, that politicians are engaging in this kind of like.
So I just wish they wouldn't do it to Disney, because like why make your enemy one of like the largest companies that owns the largest media outlets? Like,
yeah, they're arguably like the biggest conglomerate of outlets, especially in media.
Well, it's because he didn't like what they said. So basically,
I know that part. I just don't who in his ear was like, Ron, I know what you can do.
but it's working for him in Florida, specifically among conservatives, is because they like that tough guy mentality and going after quote unquote woke corporations. And again, like that bill, if you really like, I haven't read the bill in its entirety. I've only read like pieces of it, which is weird because it's only 2 pages long. I get mad when I read it.
Because I'm too busy for that.
I'm too angry because this is the sad state of our politics, where politicians are only, they're not in my personal opinion, they're not focusing on actually helping people. They create these bills and then sign them into law to burnish their own credentials. Pure narcissism is all it is. Like,
yeah, honestly.
John was like, thank you for coming to the TED Talk.
Coming to the political
from the perspective of my lower waist.
Oh, it is down there, isn't it?
I thought you were playing with yourself when you were petting Alex for a minute there.
Well, no, he was bringing his like chew toy over, squeaking it, and I was like, stop. But oh well, with a view.
try to get. I got a. Well, there's only 17 people watching right now, but there's a bunch of single prospective mates for you, Lyda. Be able to go and.
God, you should have told me. I would have like cleaned up a little bit better.
As he didn't like purposely like make it all clean cut and nice beforehand.
Well, I got my little bald hair. I could have cleaned that up a little bit.
You could have.
Really
for us.
The least noticeable thing.
I'm getting.
Much of you will make up for it.
I'll cover it. I'll cover Obadiah Gold Shekel Stenovitz's comments and smash that like button. Can't see it under it. It's like the terrorists can't see you when you have your reflective belt on. They can't see your crotch when I have these.
Yeah.
There you go. Crotch is back.
It's not science fiction, baby. It's what we do every day. That's my favorite shit, man.
Whatever was sounding special, and they got offended.
Dude, it's just like it's the best. Like doing like the most menial shit when you're just like sitting there and you're just like what am I doing here? And you just think to yourself back to the commercials. Like, everybody when you went to basic, you always had like that moment where you're like, yeah, man, I'm fucking doing it. And then you like fast forward like just 3 months later and you're doing some stupid shit like base cleanup day. And you fucking get the weed whacker out and you're having a safety briefing on how to use a fucking weed whacker. You're like, it's not science fiction. It's what we do every day.
Are there aspects of basic training that you guys miss? I was thinking about this the other day. Like,
ciao.
Honestly, the sleep. I had the best sleep of my life those couple months.
I could probably agree with that.
No, because like think about it. Like
you were tired.
You were so stressed out, like in the beginning, and then when you finally got acclimated and you knew you didn't have to get woken up through the night, like if you weren't on what was it, EC duty or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
When you weren't doing that, like you got a solid 6 to 8 hours every night. Like, granted,
we didn't get.
How are you getting 68 hours of sleep in a night? 68 seems too much.
I don't know. But get some pretty good sleep on EC duty as well.
You could.
You were the dirtbag airman having some sleep.
Yeah.
We had a guy that was at the door and he fell asleep and it woke everybody up because the fucking MTI was like this major pain looking character. Came up to the door, banged it as hard as he could. And all you hear like a dead sleep was it was terrible. But yeah, man, I missed the sleep.
Did you not have anybody in your flight sleep talking?
No.
Yeah,
I had a handful that were screamers.
What?
Concerning.
There was a couple in my bay who were not only like talking in their sleep, like carrying on full on conversations with themselves, but there were some pretty heavy snores in there too.
I remember our one element leader. I remember he had. I was just up. I think I was on EC duty, and all I was here was like forward, porch, and he just like points, and I was like, oh. Wow, like so I was like, no, it's sleepy time now. It's like mark time? It's like, no, sleepy time. It's like, oh, and then he goes over.
She goes over here cuddling the nerds back to sleep.
There was a guy, it was like the last week or so, and there was this I was friends with, I forget his name, but I was friends with him, but he was just like an odd looking dude. Just like something wasn't all there. You just, you know, God kissed him on the way down. He was like, you're gonna be one of those special ones. And like he was just like a problem. He was like such an obvious problem that the MTIs like purposely just didn't give him a hard time because like he was just too easy. So we're at like the last week and we're preparing for the graduation march, and he's in front of me, and the command was to turn left, and he must have like not slept the night prior or something like that. Instead of turning left, he raised a salute and just walked straight, realized it, then turned left, and I'm literally like pissing myself behind him because I'm the only one that saw it. Nobody saw it except for me. Oh, it was so great. Pure terror in his eyes when he did it too.
That was the best part when you did something wrong, but you knew that you did something wrong and you were praying that nobody else saw.
We got to own it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I found like those situations where like, you know, someone messed up, no matter how trivial it was. I found the whole situation funny just because I really loved like hearing the MTIs just screaming. and screaming at this person, even when they were screaming at me for whatever reason. Like it was so hard to hold back like my laughter.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was all it's all a mind game, you know.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to touch you. You know, I don't even think they're allowed to cuss at you anymore.
Really?
Yeah, really. Dude, they get their phones like every Friday now or some shit like that.
Yep.
Fudge at it. Like for like how long? Was it like for 15 minutes to make a phone call like back home, or is it like
make a phone call? Yeah.
Or is it like doing TikTok?
Remember, we only got our phones like 2 or 3 times max. You know.
Yeah, we got ours like every other Sunday.
Supposedly, they're getting it like every Friday now or some shit like that.
I'm sure there's always been those rumors of that, though. I mean, yeah, Kathy's saying that her one friend in 2010 got their phone every week, but we only got 2 phone calls total.
Oh, damn.
13.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it depends on the flight.
Yeah, that's true. It might depend on the MTI going and be like, hey, I want some phone time too. Y'all play with yours and I'll play with mine.
Dude, like having that job of being an MTI would be just, I feel like it's just shitty, but man, like the stories you get, that I think is worth it alone to become an MTI.
I'm trying to get my MTI on the podcast. He said yeah, but then I messaged him and he hasn't answered back. So
wait, you're in contact with your
MTI? Of course he is.
Yeah, so I ran into him in Kuwait.
Now, like
yeah, so in Kuwait, I just like I turn the corner, like I have my tuna and like my oatmeal and I turn to go like towards the next thing, and then he's there like this, and I was just like, and suddenly I'm back in basic training. Is like, sir, and then he's like, oh, so we had like conversation, and then so we added each other on Facebook at that point because we're both we're serving at that point. We're both in for a while, and he's getting out now. So I messaged him like, hey, could I get you on the podcast for like cool stories? And he was like security forces too. So he's got probably a bunch of stories.
I feel like a lot of them were security forces because that's like the only realistic way to get out of the career field for a while because it fucking sucks for those guys.
Yeah. I think mine was aircraft maintenance, I think.
The same story.
Yeah.
Mine was services.
Which is also another
a lot more eventful as being an MTI.
But so the maintainer, I don't know, maintainer, your job's got to like suck so bad. At least at McGuire and like Quaid did, because you're just working like 12-hour shifts and C5's always breaking like every day.
It's miserable, toxic environments, like those high stress work environments. Just because like Manning's always low,
morale's always shit.
Yeah, like that just breeds like that stress and that shittiness. Like it's just. I don't think there's like even a real way to correct it.
Yes, I'm being held hostage. Somebody call the police.
Jesus.
So it's funny that we're talking about security forces and aircraft maintenance because when I was in the process of initially doing my Palace chase to get out of active duty and to go into the Guard, I reached out to the Guard recruiter here in North Carolina, and I was like, hey, 2T2 air trans. I'm not opposed to staying in the career field, but I'm also not opposed to cross training either. Because originally I was going to try to cross train into paralegal, and they were like, yeah, "Sorry, that's not happening. Like, unless you're already paralegal, like we don't need them." And I was like, all right, well, what do you have? Like, what are you recruiting for? And they're like, well, we're recruiting really heavily for security forces and aircraft maintenance because for some reason nobody wants to do those jobs. And I'm like,
I didn't know why.
Really? You have no idea why nobody wants to do those jobs? Well, that's a hard pass on that. I'll stay at TT2.
Yeah, I was like, give me like a $30,000 signing bonus and do that.
Yeah, but they're not even offering that. They're not offering that or bonuses later on because the career field itself is manned properly, but every fucking base is undermanned, which doesn't make any sense.
Are you talking about 2T2?
Well, that's the argument.
All of the
that's
ones
the argument. When you look at like UMDs and stuff, that's what leadership always comes back with: is that we're properly manned. In fact, we're
overmanned.
Yeah.
But like you get on the ground and see how the job gets done.
Well, also what happens is that if someone like you could have 50 people deployed and their home station is McGuire, then they're still considered to be like at McGuire, and we're properly manned, even though half their freaking people are at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, McGuire, from my understanding before I left, pretty much is only down to one channel mission, and they're getting ready to potentially lose that to Dover. So pretty much McGuire is just going to become like, oh, we need deployers, so I just pull them from McGuire. They don't have shit else that they're doing.
Yeah, I think that's what it was because I was at the 305th. I left a year ago. So, and I know that the workload was pretty much menial. Like, even because I'm in the 35th now at the reserve unit up there, and like I know that training for our guys is hard to come by just because there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
I wonder what the port is like then. Like, how many people? Like, is it constant skeleton crews? Is it constant people that are just like, there's like 4 people because we have like one mission?
That's what it was like when I was there. And don't forget too, like on my way out, like COVID was the thing too. So like,
good point.
When I first talked to Kate about, I was like, hey, I think like I'm gonna leave, and I don't know. I'm either gonna stay and do reserves, or I'm just gonna leave. That's right when COVID happened, and it kind of was like I felt like it was kind of like serendipitous that it happened at that time for me. And I remember that after they came back from the light workload with COVID, because they were just having like 1 or 2 people there just in case, God forbid, something happened. Like, it was they pretty much kept it that way as best they could. And then obviously with the changeover from the KC-10s to the 46s, like they alleviate all that workload to make the transition happen too. So.
Yeah, I know right before I out-processed of the CR and moved to Raleigh, we had quite a few people that PCA'd over from the 305th. And I asked them what it was like over there, and they were like, dude, I'm just happy to be here. It still sucks that bad over there. I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
The commander was really good when I left, though. She was awesome.
Who was the commander?
Her name was Lieutenant Colonel McLean. She was great. She was the person that actually like gave a shit about everybody. Like, she was very her biggest priority was like making people felt prioritized and like not forgotten about. And like, she made a huge effort to do it. Like, I worked directly with her in the UDM office, so I had a lot of dialogue with her. I was just like, so how is it? How much do you hate it? Because she wasn't supposed to come there. And like, she was pretty stressed out at the time. I think the first day she got there, they had like a DUI overnight. The day of the change of command ceremony. So she was doing CMJ stuff, but she did a great job. She made it kind of hard for me to like leave there, but I was like, I know what this place is really like. I'm not stupid.
Well, because you get one good commander, and then they're there for 2 years, maybe 3. And then they leave, and then it's the complete polar opposite. The new guy or girl, new commander, whatever, is complete polar opposite, and it goes back to being shit.
Yeah, because I liked working for Colonel Flack. And then the next 2 were like, man, I'm just gonna swallow this bullet.
Yeah. Quickly.
You guys know how I feel about him.
Yeah.
What's it called? That's what I've always like. People that have always thought about joining the military. That's the thing I've like I'll give you the good and the bad with it, but I think the biggest positive / negative, because it definitely goes both ways of being in the military, is that if you have a bad manager, you have a bad boss, you're guaranteed that they're going to leave at some point. But on the flip side, when you have a really great boss that you don't want to leave, it's guaranteed they're going to leave at some point. It's like it kind of sucks. Like, that's what I hated about it, but I also liked it about that.
Yeah. My issue was more the lower level managers, because they weren't quite so guaranteed to leave.
Yeah. You
like,
could
finagle your way
so
easily. Chief that sucked, he was going to wreck your entire career for however long you were there.
Yeah.
Colonel Flack is actually a colonel now.
He's at Dover, I think.
Yeah, he's the maintenance group commander over at Dover. He's the one, from what I hear, who's actually trying to pull that last mission from McGuire, because he's totally gunning for that 1-star.
You'll get it.
He got that bird from McGuire and is now taking all the missions. So
he got that bird from us. We were doing e-secure. We were doing crazy stuff. Like with maybe I guess he should go to like Cape Forecasting, because those were the guys that would just like put it like, oh, there's 3 C5s and 4 C17s. Yeah, they got it.
Yeah.
They're giving us all the work.
Worldwide, it's not just McGuire either. Like fucking.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Weren't you there for like 12 or 16 hours or something the one night?
Oh, for Issachar. Yeah, nobody was doing it. Like, because only me and Baker were qualified, but Baker was not qualified. I don't know how Baker got the qualifications, but McTheny was like on leave or something, so I had to be there. Like, yeah, it was. I had to come in early. I worked right through my shift on Issachar. Sergeant Tate was like, Chavez, just don't even come to shift brief. Just stay what you're doing. It's like, yes, sir. And stay there.
System had collapsed or something.
How much do you like the guard? I know you've only done it for a couple times now. So
I'm actually still on terminal leave until August 15th.
Damn, how much terminal did you have?
So you guys, all right. So I always
here comes the story again. Here we go.
What happened was
I always kept 60 days of leave. Regardless, right? You know, I never took leave. So when COVID happened and they did that special leave accrual, I again just didn't take leave because I'm like, well, everywhere is fucking shut down, or you can't go inside. So like, why am I going to burn leave to go somewhere to follow the same stringent rules that are here in New Jersey? I'll just effing stay here. So by the time like I actually was getting ready to out process, by the time of my DOS, I would have had 136 days of leave.
like 4.5 months. Oh my god!
Yeah,
half the year off essentially.
So yeah, I don't actually report in or enlist into the guard until let's see, like my DOS is 15 August, so drill for August will have already passed. So September.
Lyda, it's so different. It's like it's really weird. I'll be honest with you. I'm in reserves, obviously. That's a little bit different than guard, but just like the culture's so weird.
I love reservists. They're so like honest, and they're so like grateful, and they're so pure. Like especially the new ones. I remember one time when I'd first gotten to base. It was like a few weeks after. I was running with a couple of guys that I like went through with, and we were just running like on that track next to the fitness center, and we would do some crunches, we'd go over like the monkey bars. Like it wasn't anything crazy. We were just like getting ready for like our PT test, and there was a reserve weekend unit thing, and they had there's a couple of chunky guys there that I guess were told to just run. And as we were coming back from like our third or fourth like monkey bar thing, I hear one reserve say to another, like, it's like a real like anime type of way, like, so this is what it means to be active duty. And like we're not even jacked or anything. We weren't even like huge. We were just running, and it was just like a normal workout. But yeah, I love you guys. I love that stuff.
Do they like test in the reserves and guards? Like, is it dependent upon the unit? Because I came across this West Virginia Air National Guard air crew when I was TDY one time, because I wanted to get their opinion on this pallet that I built, like if it would be like acceptable for or airworthy. And I walked up as they were doing their shutdowns, and I like looked, and every single fucker on that plane, I swear to God, weighed 300 something pounds.
Oh my god!
But then I'm like, well, it is the Guard and West Virginia.
Well, for the PT test, they got a new component now. So for the running part, you can either do like the regular run, or you can do something called hammer shuttles.
It's a hammer shuttle.
So follow along with me, all right? So you have.
Can we get a visual demonstration?
Yeah,
so you have a line, and you stand there like this. No, so it's on a basketball court, so you do it inside. So this is how they're getting around if it rains or there's inclement weather outside, instead of, because not all bases have the indoor tracks, or sometimes they're just wonky. You have the basketball court, so start at the baseline, And essentially you have to, it's suicides. I'm not going to call it suicides. You have the line, you hear a beep. You have an allotted amount of seconds to get to the next line before the beep. You get there before it, you stay at the line and wait for this next series of beeps. As you keep going, the beeps get shorter and shorter. That forces you to have to sprint. But bro, like what a dumb concept of a test. Like
I honestly think that's more challenging than just.
I've heard that from people.
Yeah.
It sounds like red light, green light from Squid Game.
It pretty much is.
Kathy's coming over. She's offended that you guys have never heard of a pacer test.
You have never heard of the pacer test.
So that's what it is. That's
That's
it's
what I
essentially
did
the
in
same
high
thing.
school.
We did it in my high school gym class as well. So I was aware of what it was. I just didn't understand why they called it.
Of course, they have to call it something completely stupid.
Honestly, I feel as though they should have called it suicides just to bring to light the fact that the military has a problem with suicides. But that's just me.
And that test will probably want to make you commit suicide afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, running the track in the gym over at Fort Dix did. You ever have to do that?
Yeah, but it was fine if you had like a Starburst to chew because you get really bad dry mouth. Like it is disgusting.
I had my best run times in that indoor track.
Yeah, same.
I would always cut like a minute off my run time. I don't know why.
It's definitely not a mile and a half.
So I did my run test in the Fort Dix gym, the indoor track, like once. And I remember specifically when I did it back in, I want to say this was like 2015 maybe.
Yeah.
At that time, it was like 23 or 24 and a half laps around.
Yeah,
so,
it's stupid like that.
Yeah. Not anymore. So now it's only 19 and a half laps.
Yeah, it's 19 and a half. Because I did mine in December in there.
So. What?
Did they change the length of the track? How?
I get like a 9 and a half minute.
They apparently audited the outdoor track on McGuire. Yeah. They were like, this isn't a mile and a half. And they had to they did like a re-audit of all the Air Force.
Wait, what was it?
I guess it was like a little bit longer than what it was supposed to be.
You still have to run like 6 times on the outdoor track.
You do.
Yeah. So even if it was like a little bit longer, they're still making you run that 6 laps. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Man, so it's left. I would have gotten so much. I feel like times, if you only have to run 19 and a half, it's not a lot. It's hard to get a full stride because it's kind of like a giant oval circle.
Well, you're also in a constant turn because that indoor track is not very.
Yeah.
You know,
the only thing I find complicated when I do it, because I've done it twice now, is that I like when I'm on a regular track, that last lap, I like save it to literally do a full bodied sprint around that last lap. So when you're doing it around the smaller track, it's hard to gauge at what lap you're going to do it because you have to do it for like 2 to 3, where you're just gunning it, goosing it, you know.
I couldn't do it. That was honestly my worst time.
Really?
Yeah, I got something like a 12:30 or 12:45 on that one.
That was your worst time?
Well, hey, that's that's an elite time now for our standards.
Yeah. Please tell me that's not true.
You could do a 16-minute. I think it's 16 minutes for guys. Like,
are you fucking kidding?
Under 25 is like in the 16-minute range to fail it.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
So I took my PT test back in February, but the test before that, Chavez, you remember like when we met up in New York and we proceeded to get really drunk and I was like, I have my PT test tomorrow. This is a really bad idea.
Of course.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you what I did on the line?
No, wait, what were you drinking? I was drinking Long Island's. You were drinking like Manhattans or were we just drinking whiskey, right?
Drinking anything with whiskey.
How cliche.
Yeah. Okay, so what did you do with the run?
Let's just say I literally thought that I was gonna die. And I barely passed. Like if I had run
with the new standards, you barely passed the run.
If I had run like 10 seconds slower, I would have failed the test. It was like a 15 minute and 45 seconds.
Oh my god, dude!
Lyda.
But you passed. Who cares? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I passed. Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. Doesn't matter.
It's like that whole B's get degrees kind of thing. It's the same concept.
I was salty in 2016 when I was getting really huge to try to be Bane, and I passed everything. I did the required amount of sit-ups, required amount of push-ups, and I got like a 30. I didn't fail the waist. I got like a 38. It was pretty big. And then I passed the run, but all of those things, even though I passed, the total amount of points didn't accumulate to like an actual passing grade. So I actually failed. I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is bullshit."
Wow.
The one that I had failed, I didn't make sit-ups, but I had gotten like an 85 or an 88, somewhere in there. Points.
Oh, damn. That's good.
I was like, well, that should still fucking count.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when Joyce failed once?
Who?
Oh yeah.
Joyce? He was like the best runner there, and he just cramped up. He's like, he just falls over.
Dude,
Does he live out by you still or no?
no,
He's over in Philly right now.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, because
Yeah.
I saw him at I went to the Tool show back in November, and I'm walking the concourse. I was drunk as shit. I'm walking around, and then all of a sudden, some dude taps me on the shoulder, and he looks at me. He was drunk himself, and he just goes. I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" It's so funny.
Yeah. Just graduated last month, I think.
He
Good for him.
Yeah, because he was doing his degree at Drexel. I think it was like hospitality management or something.
Yeah, I remember he said he was going to Drexel. That's right. Yeah.
So now he could be an officer in services.
But he's not. He's like, bro,
He's not coming back. He wouldn't pass the drug test.
Yeah. I like Lyda. When's the next time we're meeting up?
Well, I thought.
Oh yeah, you're down in
soon, and that you were going to stop by in Raleigh.
That's a good point.
Like a night or two with me before continuing on to Florida, but you keep pushing your move date back.
Well, Chavez,
Yeah,
you have to come to my gig in Asbury on the 14th.
That's of May, right?
Yeah, you have to go.
I don't. I can. I got.
Well, no,
how
listen,
far away is Asbury?
I think it's probably like an hour from you.
Well, we shall see. How do you spell that? ASB.
Well, so technically, it's Red Bank.
Yeah,
Asbury Park in New Jersey.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh no, that is a ways away.
Come on, dude, stop.
Like, okay, so I'm currently at the girlfriend's, and which is closer than. I'm right over in that little blue spot there.
Oh yeah.
And Asbury Park is like down there.
Fucking swim. I don't want to hear excuses.
I was about to say, I think that blue part is water.
That is you. There are modes of transportation.
I can't get a boat just yet. Oh, if I'm really drunk, I might buy. I don't know. When I was drunk with Lyda, I tried to buy. What was the tiara's name from Harry Potter?
Oh, Ravenclaw. Reno.
Yeah, I tried to buy the Ravenclaw tiara at the Harry Potter store.
I think you posted a story about that, and I showed Kate, and I was like, "Look at these two fucking clowns are doing."
That was good.
So mad I didn't go to the Harry Potter exhibit at the Philly Museum before I left.
Oh, we're going. Not this weekend. I think we're trying to go next weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
We went a couple weeks ago. It is worth it.
You went?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I want to.
Of course we went.
Have you guys seen the Fantastic Beasts movie?
No.
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the last two.
So I just interviewed this actress, Fanny Carbonell, who was Mrs. Goldsmith or Goldstein in the Fantastic Beasts movie.
Oh, really?
And I was like, whoa, yeah. So that was really cool to get her on. She said if this movie did well, then she would be in the next one, but I don't think this movie did that well. So I don't.
No, it's the lowest grossing movie in the Harry Potter franchise, I believe.
Yeah, it's usually true for each one. But,
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Came out?
Secrets of Dumbledore.
Yeah, the one that just came out. I wish that. Who did they get for Grindelwald? Because Johnny Depp, I assume, didn't play him.
He did not.
No,
Did
they
recast it?
guys with Johnny Depp on that after the whole Amber Heard deal.
Have you guys been
heard about
following
that?
that?
What happened?
Oh, dude, it's hysterical. That whole trial.
Honestly, like
Oh my
I've
God.
been trying to stay away from it, and like I'm just force fed it, and I'm like, I like it. It's
Dude, so
fun. Give me
she
more.
literally shit the bed. Like
Yeah.
she literally took a dump in his bed.
Dude, I'll be honest with you though. He handled that trial like a boss.
Yeah.
There was some really like incriminating evidence of him being just like a piece of shit human, and
But
like
he's
just
equally a piece of shit human.
Yeah, but the way he handled it, like he handled it with grace. Like so, like he looks way better than he did going in for sure. Even with the evidence against him of being just like kind of like essentially a Hunter S. Thompson wannabe. So
I wonder if I wonder if he'll be able to go and get some of it. Like, could he be Captain Jack Sparrow again? Could he be recast?
I don't think he would want to at this point. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, as much freedom as like anybody in the arts has right now, if you're in any form of media and content creating, like I think it would behoove him to just do something he wants. He has the capital. He's going to get money from this lawsuit. So
You said behoove. That is such a military word.
It did it to me, guys. It's not me. But like, wouldn't he just? It would make more sense for him at this point in his career. He can get a budget. He can get people to back him financially because they know whatever he creates is going to work. And especially with the way he's rectified his image now with this court case. So people are going to come out in droves to go see whatever he produces or directs or acts in. So why doesn't he just do something? He has all this Hunter S. Thompson novelties that he can make a story out of. Why doesn't he just financially back himself, put it on some platform? Netflix would eat that up in a second, I bet.
I don't know if he can, because before this, like, he was spending like hundreds of thousands on wine each month.
It was like Nick Cage were the people that were spending exorbitant amounts of money on weird shit.
I had a buddy of mine that
like money and
sorry, go ahead, Lyda.
Like the whole Nicolas Cage financial drama. That I'm pretty sure that was like his personal accountant that was like embezzling. You know.
Oh, I bet. But even with like 80% of the fake stuff, the 20% of true stuff that came out of that is still insanely crazy.
Yeah,
because he admitted that he bought dinosaur fossils. He admitted that.
I got a couple buddies, and when I was in the high-end Pokemon market, that I was just in Pokemon, but I had a couple buddies that were into like baseball cards and comic books, and they saw Nicolas Cage at like a private auction house, like bidding on comic books, and I was like, no heckin' way. You got to see the Cage? And they're like I saw him, I didn't interact with him. Like, oh, totally would have interacted with him.
Oh, that's the dream, honestly.
What are you doing?
I want to see that movie where Nicolas Cage acts as himself.
Is that coming? Are we seeing previews for that yet, or is that still on the shelf?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the preview for it like a couple months ago. I forget what I was seeing. I think I was seeing like maybe Ghostbusters or something. Or
also a good movie.
That was a good movie. Paul Rudd's great. I love him.
Anything Paul Rudd I'm in. So
yeah, he should be our daddy.
Honestly, we decide who our daddy is here. Okay,
I'll try to get him on the podcast and try to get him.
Jesus, that would be amazing.
All right, so I heard back from the biggest one that I have coming up is this woman named Darcy Donovan, who's a former Nashville, Tennessee. She was in Anchorman. She was Paul Rudd's girlfriend in Anchorman. So if I go and I get her to be like, hey, can you give me Paul Rudd's number, and possible.
She could be the unofficial mom. Because I mean, in the ether of movie, she's had relations with Paul Rudd, so
that's
therefore
true.
It would make sense.
Although she's older than all of us, because she's like 36, and I think Lyda or Dad's the oldest, right?
I'll be 2 next month.
Yeah, I'll be 32 in July, so I'm still younger.
Am I the baby?
You are the baby.
So,
are you still in your 20s?
Yeah,
I'm 28.
Jeez.
Jeez.
I'm 28. Oh, fuck yourself. God damn.
Get your AARP cards out, guys.
You know, you don't have to be a senior citizen to get into AARP.
The fact that we just went right into that, you sound excited about that too.
So I'm really into TikTok. Like, I spend a good portion of my day just scrolling through videos, and there's one dude, and he's like, here's like this crazy fact, by Tom or whatever, and he's just like, yeah, this is, you don't have to be an AAR, you don't have to be a senior citizen to be an AARP member. Like, the dude is like 35. He's like, I got in. It's nuts. So we could all actually get in. in our AARP.
I had a TikTok go viral in the beginning of April, and it's got like 400,000 views.
What's it called?
I'll send it to you real quick.
Yeah.
My band was shooting a music video, and we were like setting up to do the music video, and me and the drummer, like he's like my best friend, and I was just like taking a video because I wanted to make a TikTok of it later down the line when we got the video back. I wanted it to be like behind the scenes of like what a music video looks like and interlude it into what the music video is going to look like. I think it would look really cool. And I was panning around like to the room, and I look at him, and he's like twiddling his drumstick, and he just goes, "What's up, baby?" And then I turn around, and that was the end of the video. But what I put is I put a band lives and dies by how much the bass player and the drummer flirt. And it timed perfectly. And my lead singer, as soon as the text ended, he just goes, "It's weird." And that's when the video just cut off. I'll send it to you real quick. It's hilarious.
That's amazing.
TikTok's weird, man. It's great.
TikTok's great. I follow a lot of people. So I follow a lot of people on there. I don't have that many follow. People keep telling me to post more on there. I just don't. I don't know. It's because all of my videos they're either normal like 12, 15-minute videos, or they're like 3-hour like live streams. Like you can't really do. I guess you can on TikTok. I watch people play video games sometimes. That's pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
I thought they just increased the amount of time that you can post a video for.
I think it's 3 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. But also, if you don't mind me interrupting, I'm going to tell Tim to go fuck himself. It means nothing to you guys, but he knows. He knows.
Wait, where's Tim at?
Apparently on the other end of the stream because he's texting me.
Dude,
fucking nerd.
Dude, Tim is a character. He's one of the ugliest dudes I've ever met.
Right?
This is not your video. This is Kehley. You sent me a girl talking about dad bods.
Oh well, that's not it. Hold on.
Oh yeah. So you just sent the TikTok link. You didn't send like the.
But I did though. Hold on.
He's calling me.
I'm gonna have to call TikTok. Hey. All right, try that one.
Okay, I'll try this one when I get to the. Okay, you sent an attachment. Okay, yeah, no, just watch on.
And I spy how much the drummer and bassist flirt. A band lives and I spy how much the drummer and bassist.
I liked it. I gave it a like. You know what? I'm following you now.
So the weirdest thing that happened with that is that for whatever reason, so like a lot of people, like it's good because it gets people to listen to my band, which is great, like organic reach and stuff like that. But the weirdest thing that happened was, you know, a band called Greta Van Fleet.
I don't believe so.
Okay, so Greta Van Fleet they're a bunch of younger guys. They're younger than we are, and they have their biggest comp of what they sound like is Led Zeppelin. Great comparison, right? But it's like a simplified version of Led Zeppelin. They're a huge band. But a lot of like younger people, especially younger girls, love this band, but they're like hyper fans. So after a while, the video got like, when I posted it, like overnight, it got like 20,000 views. And then like it just like kept turning up. Then all of a sudden, these Greta Van Fleet super fans started tagging the band in the video. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like comment after comment after comment. There were people DMing me about, "Do you like Greta Van Fleet? Greta Van Fleet? Greta Van Fleet?" And I just got spammed by Greta Van Fleet fans out of nowhere. It was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
You got raided.
I did. I was like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on?
That happens to me every now and then. There's a streamer named Dino Lang who's pretty big into.
Sounds like a porn star. Right off the bat.
I don't know. Maybe it could. I don't know. Maybe it could be. He goes and he's got this thing called Egg Gang because he's got like a shaved head and he cracked an egg on his head one stream. So I'll get like raided by his like viewers. I'll be like, egg, and they'll just spam eggs in the chat, like Egg Gang here, Egg Gang. It's good times.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
So I was requested to ask Tom to see his AMC card, and I'm not sure which card it is because AMC could mean like three things.
Why are you humoring my wife?
Because we're friends, Gutherman.
Well, stop it. She went and found this damn thing and walked over.
Yes.
And was like, yeah, show this to everybody.
Fraud, waste, and abuse. I'm reporting you.
Oh, if you want to report someone, let me show you a picture that Osborne sent one day.
Oh my God. Do you remember when he put somebody's hat into a paper shredder?
No.
You remember when he locked himself in the family bathroom?
Yes, I do remember that.
That poor dude.
Oh, it's actually his birthday today. Let's wish him happy birthday. I want to wish him happy birthday.
Osborne.
Osborne.
Happy
I
birthday.
honestly just thought that he spontaneously became. Yeah. Like I didn't think he had a birth. I just thought he existed.
He's been here since the birth of the universe.
Pretty
Dude,
much, yeah. He is the closest we will ever get to seeing God.
Yeah.
Dude. People might not think it, but this is what peak male performance looks like. Epic Kung Fu Panda.
I was thinking about that post of his. I'm like, bro, he's I am like heavy.
I wish I had.
Wait, is that him?
Yes.
Yeah, I wish I had
No
half his
way.
confidence.
Who did you think it was?
Dude, look at him.
God.
That is a piece of man.
Where is he?
I don't know. Is that like
He's in
mini
a
Grand
place
Canyon?
in the universe that has not been curated yet. He's just as we speak.
But he posted a photo of all of his AMC badges, and I don't know where it is. I don't know which post it was. I can't find it. But yeah, he had a bunch of blue ones. He had a couple red ones as well. So I guess he was counter supervisor at some point.
He was just walking out with them. Who knows?
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Not even going to shift brief. Just hey, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Gant would do that all the time. Gant would come in like 30 minutes late, and he'd just go wherever. That was interesting. He would never get in trouble.
No, that's not.
Those are the best people to like observe in the military, is the people that just like would do shit and never get ridiculed or in trouble for anything. You just be like, oh, what is this?
I honestly don't. What's Osborne's first name?
Gerald.
Gerald
with a J.
Gerald?
Yeah, Gerald with a J.
I just learned that he has a first name.
Well, we never really used our first names. Just
that's true.
That is true. I'm still getting out of the habit of calling Joyce.
Yeah, I'd still always call him Joyce. That's just like
I hung out with him even after he got out. Like to this day I still call him Joyce as well.
Yeah. Whenever we would go hunting, I would call him Joyce to his dad, whose name is also Joyce. Like,
that's got to be weird for like parents or siblings or whoever. That's like, I don't know, we just call them something different, like a whole different world.
Mm.
Do you ever think about bringing a 6-pack in here? It's just...
Well, so here's the thing.
That's how it starts.
Well, my kitchen's getting renovated, and they started about 3 weeks ago, and my township's like backed up on doing inspections, so I haven't had a kitchen in like 2 weeks. I don't have a fridge. I don't have it, dude. I've been eating out every day. It is pure torture.
Oh, not nice.
So I will happily and respectfully decline to do that, because I have a mini fridge set up downstairs, and it's the first time I've had chilled anything, and I'm gonna keep it that way for tonight. So
fair point. I understand. I remember they gave us they let us use the what was that thing they had in the DV lounge? They had the mini fridge in there, right?
Yeah.
That little.
Yeah, they did.
They let us use that when me and DC had to sweep up the entrance to the DV lounge.
Good old Quinn, man.
So
French.
we had to try to sweep up, and like, all right, you guys, clean up out here, get all the bird stuff, the bird crap off, and do that, and just use, get some water, get whatever, use the DV lounge. I was like, okay, and then like we're trying to sweep all the stuff up. We just like made it worse, and it was like, this is the best we could do, because they just gave us brooms, like, and there's stuff growing out of the ground, and it's like, oh, this is awful.
And
that was one of the most demeaning things that's ever happened. Was they gave us sponges and we're like, oh, go clean bird shit. Like, fuck you, guy.
I can begin to describe like how happy I was the day I left that place, and I told myself, like, come hell or high water, I will never ever fucking go back there.
Yeah,
and I accomplished it.
You did it, bro.
Just like everybody else that's ever been in the CRW.
I milked it. It was just a little over 6 years by the time I left.
How many TDUIs did you go on when you were over at the CR?
I mean, I went on a fair amount. I wouldn't say that I went on a lot, but I also like didn't have like, there are some people who have been in the CR like 4 years and have gone on like maybe 2 TDUIs. I felt like I went on a healthy amount, but I wasn't constantly like tasked to TDY either.
You got enough to like feel like you got the experience out of it.
Yeah. So
you went to Poland. You went to a lot of cool places.
You went everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Norway, and then from Norway we did a follow-on TDY to Poland. Since we were already in theater, they just tasked us to go to Poland right afterwards. Got stuck there for like 3 weeks in Poznan, and let me tell you, like Poland was a great time. Like the food was good. The Polish men were delicious. I mean, it was
Jesus.
Dude, do you get some of those Polish sausages?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was great. It was so good. And then I went to Greece back in 2020, like March 2020 when COVID happened.
Yeah.
That was like when Trump came down with his travel ban. It was like 2:00 in the morning over in Greece, and I was already asleep. So I woke up to like 50 missed messages saying, we don't know like how you're going to get out of there. Like, but we're working on it. You might get stuck there for like a couple months. And I'm like, I'm okay with this. Cause why everybody else stateside is freaking out about toilet paper. Like I'm drinking alcoholic beverages on the Mediterranean. Like I am good. Don't bring me back. Like,
wow. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I had I had a good time in the CR, but all good things come to an end. And I knew that if I didn't get out when I did get out of active duty, they were ripe to kick my ass back over to the 305th. And I said,
yeah, I guess it was just about that time where you had to get out of there, right?
Yeah. Well, you remember Nolan?
Yeah. He's been there for like 20 years.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So he's actually
he's the chief over there now, right?
He's the chief at the CRG. And his big thing is, so when he was the chief at the port, he was like, don't send me CR people because they're useless to me. But now that he's the chief at the CRG, anybody that's been there like 4 years or more, like he's pushing them out. Like he doesn't care like if you're gunning for like a PCS or a special duty, like orders, like after 4 years, he's like, get out, go to the 305th. And I was like, Palace Jason, I'm out.
Nah, that's the way to go, man. Like even the way I thought about when I left was I Palace fronted, so I just let my contract end and I just rolled right over into it.
Yeah.
It was like the way I looked at it was I had like a weird timeline. So when I enlisted for 4 years. Then when I re-enlisted for 3 years. And it wasn't supposed to be 3 years. You're supposed to only do it in sets in 4 and 6. Yeah. So when I signed my contract, I saw it said 3 years, and I was like, hey, you know what? We're not going to say anything. I just signed it, and I was like, let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, like I do the regular 4 years. Ended up being 3 years. So I did 7 years of a natural timeline, right? So I had 1 year left of IRR. So when I left active duty, my 1 year of IRR, I essentially showed up for that IRR time to see if I liked it on the reserve side. So I didn't have to do an extension to do the reserves. I had a year contract with the reserves to see if I liked it. So it was like a little trial period, which was great. And they promoted me right away. I'm the UTM, so I don't really have to do like typical shift stuff. So I kind of like am just on my own, which is nice. So I'm like, yeah, I can do this for a couple more years. Why not? So But the culture is so different though. Like people are happy to be there, which is really weird. People look at that stuff like an event. There's people that have been there for 30 or 40 years. I asked the guy I'm working with that I'm taking over for, I'm like, why has he been here this long? He's like, because he likes to hang out. I'm like, the day it hits 20 years, I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here tomorrow if I can. And he's here for like shits and giggles. Like,
well, you can retire because all the time you had as active duty counts towards retirement in the reserves.
I have to hit that 20-year mark. That's the
yeah.
And you can still retire normally.
Yeah.
Like you got to wait until you're 60.
So the amount of time of active, it's all points. So you need to hit a certain amount of points in conjunction with your time. So every point is considered a day. So if you're a traditional reservist that came in through basic, your UTAs and your annual tours, that's where you get your points. So it's right around 52, 54 points a year. Now, active duty, I got 365 points per year. So add that up. I have like over 2,000 points. I have more points than some reservists will have in a career that have deployed a couple times. So I can retire as soon as I hit the 20-year mark. But you just got to hit that timeline. So that's really what it's about, is just honestly showing up.
Would you deploy anymore if they offered?
It would have to be like the right deployment. I don't want to go to Qatar. I don't want to go to Kuwait. If they give me like a jet task or do like Jordan or Africa or something like that, I'd do it. I know Gutherman probably is like, he hears Africa, he's like, no. Absolutely.
Niger was a blast. Do not ever fucking put me in that country again.
What the worst part about it is I'm the one that had to do it to you.
Yeah. No, the worst part about that is dumb motherfuckers skipping out on deployments.
Dude, that was the worst part about that job. And Lyda, you know all about that.
Because I was a UDM as well, but we didn't do deployments. We just did TUI. So,
Dude,
poor Gutherman. You were at Niger, right?
Yeah. The nice part was that I did make it back like a week before my daughter was born.
Oh,
so, that worked out. But like, fucking, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, we got a fucking 15-year tech sergeant that's like, ooh, my back hurts. Like, fuck out of here.
Dude, you see some stuff, man, on how people finagle their way out and how creative they are.
Yeah. I mean, I even saw it in the CR during my UDM time over there, because I was the UDM for 3 years. And you would think, like, why would you finagle out of anything on in the CR? But like in the CR, we do exercises, so people would get on profiles, so that way they don't have to do the exercise. But then a JI comes down and they call up their PCM. They're like, can you remove this profile off of me? And they'll get it removed just so they can go on a TDY to wherever it is they want to go. Okay. As soon as they get back, they'll get put right back onto that profile. That way they don't get tasked for exercises.
That would piss me off so bad.
Yeah, that should be fucking paperwork. Straight up. You do that 3 times, you're out.
Yeah, because like that's the whole point of the job, man. Like the whole point of doing it is to be ready to deploy. Like even though I don't want to deploy, and if I can control it, I don't want to do it. But I'm not gonna screw somebody else over if it's my time to do it. Like that's what you're there for.
Right.
Yeah. Me personally, like I don't want to deploy again unless you're gonna send me somewhere where there's trees and grass. I'm sorry, but I'm done with that hot ass weather in the Middle East bullshit. I only did it once. I don't want to fucking do it again.
John's out here trying to get deployed to the Pacific Northwest.
Like I'm cool with doing one more deployment in the next couple of years, but like I don't know. It just depends, because right now I play music. I'm going back to school, so I find it really hard to even fit in doing my reserve weekends. I would have a hard time sacrificing doing that stuff in order to deploy. But like the fact that like it's an option, like I still, if the right circumstance presented itself, I'd probably do another couple. Why not? But
I'd be curious. Like I know like Africa like sucks, but I don't know. Like Wolfgang would send me like Snapchats of like monkeys she'd come across. And she'd be like, yo, look at this. And I'm like, oh, dude, monkeys are awesome. And I would just see the wildlife there. Like we had a base cat in Kuwait. We had a couple of them, and then one of them got ran over by a truck. But the rest, bad times. Bad times with the cat. We named it Tom, actually.
Aw.
Yeah, we named it Tom. It had a little nick on its ear, and I remember posting the photo, and then Kathy was like, "I can't believe you named it Tom." And I was like, "Yeah, we had to."
Remember me and Bickham when I first met Bickham and we started playing music together? We started the first thing we released together was called the Gutherman.
Yeah, that was the name of the band, right?
Yeah,
You made like a pillow. You made like
yeah. And then
like,
he played our stuff on Spotify on repeat for 24 hours, and he got all our stuff kicked off of Spotify.
I remember Dagum always going and be like, "Oh, it's the Gutherman." He would call Gutherman the Gutherman.
I'm playing with him next Friday at the Tropicana. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You be at Tropicana?
Yeah, I'm playing. Him and I are playing at Ocean Casino and Tropicana a couple times this summer. Yeah.
Oh, that's epic. Let me know that schedule. I would totally want to come to that.
I didn't know he was still in the area.
I love Atlantic City.
His practice. He has like his office is right down the street from my house. So
really,
but he hires me to do. I do like lead guitar for him when he needs it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
He's out of the military now, right? Like
No, he's in the 88th. Him and our offices are literally connected to each other. So he's the UTM for the 88th. I'm the UTM for the 35th.
So he was in the Navy for a brief period as well.
Really?
He went and he came back. I don't know why, but
I didn't know that.
He did, yeah. I remember in like 2018, I tried to get back in just because I was like, I don't know, I was veteran, like going through like depression, like I miss everyone. And then
it happens.
Yeah. And it was a few months, it was like mid to later 2018. And it was a few months after me and Lyda went to Sergeant Norway's retirement party, and we got like so shit faced. Like we were like, do you remember where Willem fed us this like 100-year-old beer or something like that?
Yeah.
It's great. But we got really drunk. I survived, but like the next week when I just had like a sip of beer, my liver said nope. And it just started like going down. So I had like a liver issue, and then a few months later, and that somehow miraculously got better. Then I had like my appendix exploded like a few months after that. So when I try to go back in, the Air Force recruiters like, listen, like because of like what just happened like this year with like your liver, like you have health issues, probably can't do it. So then this Army recruiter comes out of the office like, we can get you a waiver for that. And I was like, no.
Comes up with like a trench coat. He's like, waiver?
Completely naked underneath because it's the Army, but
my goal, like once I get done with law school in a few years, is to actually try to commission as a JAG officer. And I had a couple people tell me, they're like, well, trying to commission in the JAG is really competitive. I'm like, in trying to do anything in the Air Force,
it's whatever.
They're like, but have you thought about maybe doing Army JAG? And I'm like, no, I'll stay enlisted in the Air Force before I the Army even treats.
I don't love the military that much.
Yeah.
Like if you love the military and you like that's your goal, like that's cool. But no, it's all for selfish reasons. If I'm going to do anything like that.
Yeah. Well, the Army even treats their officers like shit. Like, why would I want to fucking do that? Like,
yeah. Why would you start at the bottom and then start at the bottom of the bottom in terms of just like, because like an Army junior officer is the most shit on person in the military, really.
Yeah.
So
apparently in like OTS, you get this thing called like third lieutenant, like before you're before you get second lieutenant.
Somebody does a bumper sticker.
I'm a third lieutenant's wife. Please respect me. Call it professional respect.
It is. He's at Army OTS.
Great.
Do you want a cookie? Oh, I haven't been to like a military function in a while, which I guess is good. When was the last time you guys went to like a Christmas party or like an air show or something?
I actually played with my cover band. We played the 305th Christmas party this year.
How was that?
A fucking train wreck, to be honest with you. Because I don't mean to hijack this, but like I haven't had a chance to even vent about this yet, so I'm glad you brought this up.
I can't wait for this.
So, like,
months.
So, but like nobody would really understand it. Like they had it at so obviously COVID postponed everything for like 2 years, and the Christmas parties, like that's like a really look forward to event for a lot of people, right? Like even if you really don't give a shit about unimorale, like people still get up for the Christmas party for whatever fucking reason. I don't know why. So everybody was getting excited, and I'm out of the unit at this point. I haven't been there in almost a year, and the commander reached out to me and she asked if I'd be interested in doing the Christmas party. And the guys I play in this cover band with, like full transparency, they're like really rich dudes and they don't play for money usually. That they would rather do it for like donations and stuff. So I was like, okay, this is like a perfect opportunity. I get to show these guys a little bit of what the bass is like. They feel like they did a good thing. It's a good photo op because the one guy owns a business. So we'll call it like a donation if you pay us, right? So we do the gig, and the guy that's one of the guys that he was from TMO, he was running the whole thing, and he's like asking me questions. And I'm like, yeah, man, like, what do you want? He wants to do us like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I'm like going through the rundown of usually how I pitch like my paying cover bands. And he goes, well, the vision I had was you guys play like 3 songs, then you stop, somebody talks, then you play another 3 songs, we do another thing, and then you stop, and then we do this. So I was like, to be fair with you, that's usually not how this works because it just makes everything a little bit rocky. I was like, here's how we usually do it. We do it in 45-minute blocks. Tell me how many blocks of 45 minutes to an hour you want, and we'll curate a playlist for you. And he goes, okay. Thought we were good to go. We show up. We play 3 songs that are warm-up songs, so they're not even that good of songs at all. We're about to go into the next one. The guy comes up and he goes, hey, can you like, we're going to do this real quick. So we're literally just standing there, just like watching them do something. And it just made the whole thing so awkward. They did this like 5 times. And it was just, I wanted to eat my fist. Like I wanted to eat my fist. It was terrible.
My first mistake was operating with TMO.
Yeah. True.
I had to know they can't. The 305th can't even do Christmas parties, right? But
man, like it was just so brutal. Like I did my best to like not show the anxiety I was feeling, but I was just like, oh, this is terrible. So bad.
The Christmas parties always had a couple of things happen that were like crazy. Like Miller one time called a spouse a bitch, and
oh yeah, that's right.
He worked for that, by the way.
Yeah,
he was in the men's room.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, lady.
Weren't there things happening with some of the higher echelon people?
Oh, where there was I don't know if I want to dox him or say like his name, but he was a master sergeant. I don't know where he was working at the time, and he made out with an airman.
Yeah. He was kind of proud of it too, to be honest with you.
There was
in the squadron.
Yeah.
There was one. I think it was 2013, where I asked the shirt to marry me, and then she asked me. Yeah, Lyda knows her.
Martin, I still talk to her occasionally. I love her.
Tell her I said hi. I'll ask her if she wants to come on the podcast.
Offer's still on the table.
Tell her she had her check. No. Tell her to come on the podcast. That'll be really fun.
I'll send her
in that same and she asked like why, and I was like, I just want to get out of the dorms. And like it wasn't like you're so pretty. It might have got me points. That's
the most dorm rat shit I've ever heard.
I'm wearing my shirt to get out the dorms. That works.
Chavez even propositioned to me once. He's like, Lyda, you get married to get out of the dorms, and I'm like, Chinchuck, I'm already under a microscope with OSI right now. I don't need fraud on top of it.
Can you imagine?
Didn't Bradford do that? He married somebody.
He never admitted to it, but yeah.
He got married to get. I thought he was already about to get out of the dorms.
He married a girl on paper.
Wait, really? Did he marry Huff?
No.
I don't think
they were like best friends.
No, I think Huff was gone at that point.
No, from what I remember, I think he married a lesbian.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I don't remember.
She was from another unit too.
Yeah, I don't remember the girl's name. I just I remember that they got married to get out of the dorms, and then they like divorced right after.
Yeah. Oh, damn!
Nobody asked any questions too, and like people were like, again, like we know the situation here, guys. Like we get it.
You guys know that like Bradford died, right?
Yeah.
It was like right before Christmas in like 20.
It was a car accident, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was in Germany.
Recovering from a car accident.
Yeah, but he got medevaced to whatever that hospital is there, I thought, and then managed to make it all the way back down to Andrews.
Yeah.
The hospital down there, and then managed to die in the hospital. I'm not sure.
Damn.
Terrible.
Yeah, it must have been a really, really bad accident.
Yeah, they get like airlifted.
To hear.
Rip and Bradford. We played the Jenna Marbles drinking game once, and that was like one of my favorite memories that we had together because it was just like, okay, take a drink every time Gemma says Kermit or says like bye bye Spider-Man or goes like wee. So we did it with like Mike's Hard Lemonade also. We didn't do it with liquor. Like it was a sugary drink. We did not feel good afterwards.
Does Jenna Marble still make content?
No. So this is
here he goes.
This got me. I was about to like. I'm pretty middle of the road, like independent, like politically. But this was like 2019, 2020, something like that. And I'm thinking of just going down into like the voting booth and just voting like Republican straight on, like just everything, because Jenna Marbles had this thing where she's been the funniest person on the internet for like 10 years, like if not more.
She's like the OG.
Yeah. And she goes and she has like this like apology video where she's like crying because a bunch of people dug up like her old videos where in like 2008, she made like an Asian joke in one of her videos, which was funny. And there was like an Asian person like with it, like they were clearly okay with it.
Yeah. And
then she's like, this has been happening. Like they're going through all my videos, and they tried to cancel her, and she could have fought it. She could have been like, hey, this was a long time ago. Like whatever. I'll put them on private or I'll unlist the videos. But she they made her feel so bad. Like she was getting threats. It was horrible. Like they got to cancel Jenna Marbles, and I was so pissed at like the woke left. I was like, I freaking hate you people. I hope I was like wishing for like a pandemic before there was a pandemic. Like that was specifically targeting the woke left, and I was just like,
with the whole like wokeism and cancel culture, a lot of that is really company driven. Because they're afraid of the outrage on the left or even the right. So they say, hey, let's just be proactive and let's just go ahead and cancel Johnny Depp.
Let's make sure that we don't hurt our wallets.
It's purely a financial decision, but I think that by doing what they did, by firing people without or letting them go before there was an investigation even completed, like I think they did more damage to their credibility than anything that they were trying to strive towards. Those is basically what I'm getting at.
That's a good point. I like Lyda's analytical aspect of it. I also like it when he gets really drunk. We were in Atlantic City last year, and he runs from like Tropicana to wherever we were at, and we're so drunk, and we're just sitting at the slots, and he's just like, Chavez, you want to know what China's doing right now? I was like, and he's like, China is giving their citizens money to buy up all this property along the East Coast. Like, I've tracked it, Chavez. I grabbed my arms like, I've seen it.
I've seen it.
It's true, though, man.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
Properties are coming from somewhere, and a lot of them are foreign investments. They're not just doing it here. They're also doing it in places like London, too. And it's not just...
And they play the long game with that stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's not just China. Like, for a time there, you had... Russian billionaires buying up a lot of property as well.
No. Canada, I think, just either passed a law or put a motion to pass a law that's going to stop foreign investments in property.
They did. It passed. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's for like 2 years though. So it's like
what was Canada's reasoning for that?
There's too many foreign investors.
It was pricing Canadian citizens out of the market. They weren't able to compete. When you have all this foreign overseas money coming in, buying up property left and right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I think there was, I don't know. I mean, it's got to be good for the citizens that are selling, though. Like, you have citizens that are selling and they have a bunch of money. I don't know. It should be good for the economy.
Yeah,
Well,
but the
that's
problem
kinda how
is,
it
like,
is
they
right
might
now.
be able to afford to sell, but they can't afford to buy at that point.
Yeah.
You're pricing
Feels
yourself out by selling it that way.
Right.
There's a lot that goes into the crazy prices in the housing market right now. It's not just like overseas investors or even domestic investors buying up property. A lot of this as well is community driven. You have that not in my backyardism of people who are enjoying, very high property value right now, and they don't want condominiums or townhomes or low income housing to move in because then it depreciates their property value. So you have a lot of that, like, yes, we have housing prices, but you better not build here because I'm enjoying sweet property value right now. Go build somewhere else. You're seeing, we're pretty much creating ghettos again.
Yeah.
Gentrification is being run amok right now.
See, my problem is we bought in 2020, like August of 2020, and we got a decent deal for what the market was at that point. And we live in a nice area. But for whatever reason, the township and the county keep allowing fucking 55 plus housing
Seniors?
Oh, really?
So it's not even that people aren't building out here. It's just that they are restricting it to people over the age of 55.
Yeah.
And that's the issue I have. Like, if you were building condominiums or townhomes, that's fine. But fucking restricting it to aging seniors?
Yeah.
They're making it old.
I bought in 2018, and I was even talking to my neighbor right before I came on here, and I was just talking about how I was like, damn, like, I cannot believe how lucky I got for when I bought, because like the house I'm in now, just because of how the market is, without even touching it, almost doubled in value overnight almost. It's just like, it's insane how stuff just flipped.
It's
so
not
quickly.
It's not sustainable though. I feel like
no, not at all. No way.
It's got to maybe not crash, but there's got to be like a hard course correction.
Yeah,
course correction. That's definitely it.
Just last Friday, actually, I drove down to the Charlotte area to attend a friend's wedding. I got there early, so I decided to go over.
You wanted to hit that open bar early. That's why.
Huh?
You wanted to hit that open bar early. That's why.
No, actually, there was no open bar. It was very just
why
small.
bother attending?
He found out because he showed up early. That's why.
Yeah. Well, because it was a 3-hour drive, so I planned in potential like traffic delays as well. That's the reason why I got there early. But anyway, back to my story. So I got there like an hour early, so I just drove over the state line to clean out my car at a car wash, because South Carolina and Charlotte, North Carolina is like right there. Yeah. And as I'm driving the back roads, there's this new housing development that's going on is it on the South Carolina side? Yeah, it's on the South Carolina side. The starting value for these homes are in the 500,000s.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Down there too?
Yeah. Oh, it's
starting homes
down here, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's a development being built down the street here, starting at 400. Ryan Homes, so it's not worth more than 50.
Oh, my buddy works for a subcontractor for them.
No, fuck Ryan Homes. They are.
Yeah, he even says it too. Don't worry.
With how quick that they're throwing these houses up, there's nothing.
Dude, they'll put A-frames on top of those houses. They'll drop A-frames. They'll do like 20 in a day. It's insane. It's like crazy.
It's not quality work.
Oh no, it's like an assembly line.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the? Have you looked into the Millennium Tower over in California?
No.
It's this tower that
Where's it
somewhere in California. It's one night, like many moons ago, these drunken like Deca and 100 millionaires, they decided, let's make the biggest building ever. And they went and they got a tower. It's in San Francisco. So it's a giant complex. And it is, let's see, let me get some images over here. What they did was they rushed getting all the permits and they rushed getting stuff. The building itself was like built fine, but they built it on this certain type of soil or land that was not fine, and it's like sinking, it's sinking on one part, so it's leaning like a couple of feet more than it was supposed to. Like it's supposed to have a little sway for like wind and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's leaning, and they've tried to make it like it all hush hush, but if it collapses, it's like going to destroy like a good part of San Francisco.
You know what? There's a casino in Atlantic. You know where Harris Casino is? Is that still
around?
Yeah,
it was just there.
That sinks like apparently like 2 centimeters a year, something like that. I learned that on a class field trip when I was in 5th grade.
Oh, that's cool. I want to see how far this is leaning. I don't know if it says, but it's 645 feet tall. Damn. God, it's so high. Yeah, this tilting problem is, I guess it's built on Young Bay mud, and it's not, I don't know.
How does that even get approved in the first place?
I don't know, but part of it sunk 16 inches. And there's a giant tilt at the base, and there's another 6-inch tilt at like the top. Oh yeah, they're trying to like fix it, and it's kind of working, but I don't know if it's working quick enough to where they might have to evacuate the whole city before it do like a controlled demolition.
That's impressive, to be in California, that they rushed the permits and, just
especially there
quickly, because nothing moves quickly in California bureaucracy, like nothing at all. So someone got handed some money under the table to push that project through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know what specialist you would need for a geologist to be able. Oh yes, the soil is good. This is fine. Like I don't know whose like signature like specialty that requires.
My buddy's a geologist, and that's essentially what he does. He'll go out and assess an area that's about to have like a project on it, and he'll send that to like the structural engineer saying that he approves the area for essentially being built on. Can you stop it?
I'm sorry.
Jesus. Yeah,
puppy.
But still, like in California, you would think that would be the one place where that gets hashed out, and that doesn't happen.
Well, it's because if you guys I don't know if you guys followed the story, but when Trump was still president, he like canceled an ongoing like high-speed rail project or something.
I remember hearing something about that.
Because it was costing like $200 million a mile.
What?
$200 million a mile.
There's no way.
It was the Paco.
It was something crazy. I might be exaggerating numbers a little bit, but I feel like I'm pretty spot on with that. But anyway, it was some excessive amount of money for just 1 mile of track for high-speed rail.
Yeah. They I don't know if you guys ever seen Hell on Wheels. It's about the creation of like the Transcontinental Railroad after the Civil War, and the government didn't have any like engineers, so they contracted it out to like a third-party company that could build a railroad.
Yeah. And
they're just like, yeah, why make it a straight line when we can make it windy and wavy and we get paid per mile?
And they were using Andrew Carnegie's company that did that.
I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, I assume this is not like a true story that happened, but it was just a good series on like it was on AMC, on Netflix now.
Air Mobility Command, what?
Yeah.
Alcoholics moving cargo, what?
Yes.
I miss karaoke night with you guys.
Oh my! I remember when I first got to the base, and I remember like I started to befriend you guys. First off, I thought Gutherman fucking hated me.
Really?
Yes, dude. I don't know. You looked grumpy the one day. You were on dispatch.
I look grumpy all the time. It's just my face.
I realized that, okay, but I was scared of you. And then I remember I like grew up the courage to ask what you guys were doing, and you were like, "I think we're going to karaoke night tonight." And I remember I was like, karaoke night? It's a fucking Wednesday. And then I was like, okay, whatever. I'll go to karaoke night. Go to karaoke night. Fucking right off the bat, not even like a little bit goosed up. Chavez sings some song. Like, I forget what it was, but I was like, these guys are pretty fucking fun. And I remember that's where you and I was looking at the prices for like getting a beer. And I was like, yo, dude, doesn't it make more sense just to get a pitcher for myself instead of buying a couple of glasses? And I was like, fuck it, that's what I'm about to do. So the waitress comes over. She's like, what do you want? I was like, I'll take a picture of Yingling. How many glasses you want? I was like, well, the pitcher counts as a glass, so I'll just use that.
I made a status about that on Facebook. It was one of my Be Me statuses. I of course put it way out of context and just had like made it like a DBZ, like eating wings and yeah.
Dude, guys, Pudgy, you're just talking about the karaoke night at Pudgy's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Pudgy's has gone so down.
It's so bad.
No way. It can't get worse than it was.
No, dude, it did.
What happened?
How?
They changed ownership or management or whatever.
The way that you like order food in there too is completely different and fucked up too.
How do you order food? Like how do you change ordering food?
You
remember
can't
how,
just
like,
go up to the bar, dude. You have to go to like a touch screen or some shit now. It's
Yeah.
so stupid. But it's
Yeah.
not busy. So why do you need a touch screen?
You guys know how to keep their bar like fully stocked too. I feel like anytime I went in there, like now, or I mean not now because I'm here back down south, but I feel like especially like everything was just empty. Like their bar was.
It really was.
Yeah.
Jeez. Did you ever go there when they were still serving beer that was brewed over on Fort Dix?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't. Was it
It was
good?
like one of the guys that worked there. They like teamed up with him. He's like, I know how to make beer, and then he did it.
Yeah, it
That's
was
awesome.
over where the Honor Guard building is.
Go.
Speaking of that, with the kitchen renovation I'm doing, I grew hops on the side of my house last year, and I harvested them. And I've had them for a year, and I bought a dual tap kegerator. So I'm building in a cabinet where I'm going to have my own homebrew on at all times, as well as like a domestic. But I'm going to use the hops from the side of my house to make literally like the most homebrew ever. I'm
That's
so
fantastic.
excited.
Also, I still have your brewing equipment. Can I please get it back to you? It's been like 6 years.
Well, that would be like the best excuse to come see you anyway. So yes.
Okay, let's make that happen because it's in my garage and I've been thinking for years now. I need to get this back to Zach.
Well, now that I have the kegerator, so the kegerator system, I don't have to bottle anymore. It carbonates inside the keg, so I don't have to do any of that. So I would love to do multiple batches at the same time to just rotate the keg in and out. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome if I had that.
Let's make that happen.
I'm down.
I've never gone to like a whiskey tasting, but there's this thing called Whiskey Advocate, and I have a couple subscribers that bought me and Danielle tickets. It's on November 3rd. It's a Thursday, but it's
a dangerous proposition for a whiskey tasting.
It is, but I've never done it, and apparently you can't do a. Apparently we're aliens. Apparently you can't. What they give you a tiny glass, but you're not supposed to drink the teeny tiny glass. You're supposed to take like a sip and you spit the rest out. Yeah. I was like, what? And like, yeah, you could do that for like 5 times, but if you drink the whole thing, you're just drunk.
Oh yeah, they. If you ever in Ireland, I did the Jameson tour there, and so I did Guinness before that, and then I walked over to Jameson. The Jameson factory is right over the river. I forget what the river's called, but we walked over there. We were goosed up, good time, had a great experience there. The Guinness tour was more of like, this is how beer's made. This is like how this process is done. It's more like going through like a factory watching that, which is super cool. But then you walk over to Jameson. Jameson is you go into a room and it's like a sensory experience. They show you what they use as their malt, what like fresh distilled liquor tastes like as compared to what triple distilled liquor tastes like, because that's what they do. That's like their big claim to fame is triple distilled. And they did a tasting between Scotch, American whiskey, American bourbon, and Irish whiskey. And I'm not like a big whiskey guy. I've never been into bourbon, not one of those guys. That was the first time I was able to appreciate that. But after that, I was inspired to go to a whiskey tasting like you're talking about. And I made the mistake of like taking a couple shots of that and not spitting it out initially because I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste the whiskey. And it was a mistake.
Yeah. I guess there's like hundreds of people that just go that, or there's hundreds of vendors there. So you have to.
I would leave that place completely shit-faced.
Then he would do his PT.
I love it.
John,
Yeah.
you remember that time? I think it was Semstraat's birthday. We went over to Tara's, and you and I got into it a little too heavy.
Oh,
Wait, was that when
every time I went to Tara's.
No, that was DC's birthday. That was
No, there's these.
Yo, Lyda and Harry had the best relationship ever there. They did.
Knew each other by name.
Oh, man, good old Harry.
I love Tara's.
Yeah,
I love Kehley's too. Kehley's bar was like the biggest hole in the wall bar.
That got put on the blacklist for like 2 months randomly.
I heard.
Kelly's had a gang shooting.
Oh, that's why I think. Yeah. They had a NASA spacesuit framed on the wall for some reason too.
Yeah. What about the other bar, Bunky's Pub? I think is what.
So that lasted like less than 6 months.
Yeah. So I only went there once.
You did? I never went.
I went there once, and I'm pretty sure that was when it was blacklisted, and I wasn't supposed to be there, but I was there.
I had to.
It was after it just came under like a new ownership. So, and it's just like me, this other CR dude, and then like maybe 4 other people in there, and then the 2 owners, and one of the owners was actually bartending. The owners are just getting shit faced behind the bar, and they're giving us free drinks like galore. Yeah. And I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, this is a terrible business model, but I'm here for it because you're giving me free alcohol. And I got so fucking hammered that I like backed into like an oversized like lawn gnome. I turned around. And then when the lawn gnome didn't like respond back, I was like, well, that's rude. And then like I looked at it, I was like, holy shit.
Wait, Lyda, do you remember that one time? Remember when you were at Tara's and you were a little cooked and you called me when you got home and you went, hey man, I'm like, what's up? You were like, I went to jail. And I'm like, wait, what? And he was so drunk that I believed it. He was like, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. I don't think there was ever a time that I like entered into Tara's like sober and then left sober. Pretty sure I always left hammered.
Well, when you and I, like when I first became friends with you, we would go there after swing shift. And we were like, yo, this is the best because you can go after swing shift. You get dressed really quick. You can get there by 10:30. Yep. That place would close at like 1 or 2 in the morning. You'd go to shift the next day and you'd be good to go, man.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect schedule.
The swing shift was the best. I was in such good shape. Oh my God, it was amazing.
You could do so much and you could sleep in every day.
And it was great. Leadership wasn't there.
It was the best part about night shift without feeling like your life was being swallowed from beneath you.
Yeah. How many times I would go into gate 2, like at 9 o'clock at night and like move stuff around and then just do my workout in there when I was doing insanity.
Oh, when everybody was doing insanity for a while, that was the big thing.
Yeah.
That flex, you know.
That was perfect when we were able to go to the gym by ourselves. Nobody was in there, and then just had the whole gym. Like I remember it was one night. It was me and this one dude in there. It was like I was the only one there for a while until this like really jacked like black dude gets in, and I was playing like the Kirby theme song, like da, 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 da. And he's like, "Is that Kirby?" I was like, "Dreamland, motherfucker!" And he's like, "Okay." It was good. It was fun.
Oh man, good times. I mean, I still don't fucking miss that place. I miss you.
I miss you guys. Yeah,
that's you guys too. I'm headed. I talked to the Fentons about this. I'm headed to Hawaii probably later this year, just to chill, hang out. Fenton's dad is there, and Mike Castle's there, our Sergeant Castle.
Oh, he's still there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we're gonna chill for a bit. And also Andrews is there, although she's Quails now.
Quails.
And then Ogletree's there. She was Holtz, now she's Ogletree. I just had Ogletree on the podcast as well. I just had her like a week ago. I had Bright on the podcast too, Sergeant Bright.
Really? No way.
Yeah, he was. I went to visit him in Boston. He's over in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So he was really cool. He showed me like all these places in like downtown Boston where like cool drinks. We got to be like where the founding fathers were to like plan out the whole like revolution. I was like, this is so amazing. This is so epic.
Boston's so cool, man. I loved it there.
Yeah, that was great. That was a lot of fun.
I want to go to Hawaii so bad. We were supposed to, me and my wife, we were planning a trip back in right when the pandemic started. We were looking at doing a trip there, and it just didn't come to fruition because we had just gotten back from Costa Rica. We had such a good experience there, and I was just like, I want to do something like this again. But I've been wanting to go out there so bad for the longest time. But
let's do it.
But dude, I want to go to freaking Harry Potter World, but the freaking Fentons, they killed that dream. I was like, I'm in, I'm ready. I'll go for a weekend. I was pissed. I was sad. I was really excited. I thought my enthusiasm would curate with everybody.
Yeah,
first I'm hearing about it, so I'm just saying.
Let's all go. So
We should go.
I mean, when I go to when I get a place in Florida, we should all go to like Harry Potter World and Disney and you guys need to go to Washington too. The Fens like have this beautiful place and it's a big backyard. It was like making meat and
I tried to go visit them last year because I went out to Seattle because I've always wanted to go visit Seattle.
Yeah.
Because like all my music heroes are from there. So I wanted to go there. Kate and I stayed there for 2 or 3 days, went to a Mariners game, hung out. And we tried to make it work where we could meet up and I would go to I think they're in Spokane, right? Is where they're at?
Yeah.
But it was so far away because the next day after the day we were supposed to go visit them, we drove the PCH from Seattle all the way to fucking Los Angeles. And that was a hike.
How long?
19 hours of driving.
Oof.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Big oof.
Yeah, big oof. It was great. And I had a flat tire in the Redwood Forest at like 10 p.m. So that was really great too.
Oh no.
And there's no natural sunlight or moonlight that comes down even at the nighttime. So I couldn't pull over because I would have gotten murdered by some axe murder in the freaking forest. It was terrifying, man. So I had to literally just hope to God I could get to where we were going. We drove to Napa for the night. Got there like 5 hours late, and I was like, I just got to find a gas station to patch this tire up on this rental car, and then so I could keep driving the next day. Somehow I did it. It worked. I obviously didn't die, which is good. But
there's a lot of nights where there's like a lot, or not even night, or I guess nights too. There's a lot of times where I'll be like on acid, and I'll go to like Reddit / like Reddit no sleeps or like Reddit. And I'll just read all these scary stories, or I'll be on like the dark part of TikTok.
Dude, you always love scary stories, though. You're such a sucker for them.
It's so much fun. I love those. Like, I don't know, McGuire at night sometimes is weird too, because you got those little like trees in between the fitness center and the dorms, and I thought like the goat man was coming after me one night because I just read that story. Oh, guess who we got coming on?
Saturday. Whoa! No way! Look at this guy. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas? How's it?
Yeah, the hair's looking nice and slick. I like it.
Yeah.
Good look.
Oh.
What you know?
You know, the best memory I have with formerly Sergeant Satterwhite was when we played Grand Theft Auto. Do you remember? We played Grand Theft Auto. I think we did it one time, and it was just absolute fucking chaos because of you.
Where did you play Grand Theft Auto?
We played Grand Theft Auto online one night. I got your.
Is he that long or at work 1 2?
He's not my dad.
He's all of our dads.
He's our dad's dad.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a complete. Matter of fact, it was almost everybody from Shift.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Like 15, 16, something like
It
that.
was shortly after I got there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really shortly
Checks out.
Yeah, because like I said, it was hell coming back.
Yeah, you went through it for a little while.
What was that?
You remember your boy Manigo?
Dude. Let's not get me started.
Wait, what was that?
Let's go.
You know where this cat's at now?
No.
Working for Amazon in Tampa
No way, really?
as a manager.
Who are we talking about?
Manigo.
You weren't there for that.
Chimchuk, this was you were there for Manigo.
I think he was on his way out.
Yeah,
I was
that
gone
news
for most
story,
of 16.
that news article came out when I was deployed.
Yeah.
The one where he like wrote to Marco Rubio, to his senator in Florida.
Yes.
I was deployed because the guys I was working with, I was at a fob, and they were like, "Yo, did you see this letter that this guy sent?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me see it." I looked at it, I'm like, "Yo, I fucking work with that guy."
Yeah.
and then I texted Alstrom because he like wrote his name in there, and I texted him and I said, "Hey, what's this about?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's pretty crazy." And I was like, "Oh shit."
You have no idea the stuff this dude drug us through. It was brutal.
I bet.
This joker come out. He said I threatened him. He said he felt threatened. I was like, do your damn job. I wouldn't care. I was like, suck it up, Buttercup. I mean, you're the only one that complains. And,
I know he was not well liked at the CR either, because I actually took his spot at the CR. Remember when they did that spot? And whenever I got there, they're like, thank God we got rid of that fucker.
So this was all your fault then.
No, this was not my fault.
You
Man, that
actually have a hand in this. At least
he threw me underneath the bus a lot.
Oh, rip.
That's a recurring theme with him, because he pissed off a lot of people at the CR as well. They were very quick to get rid of him, from what I remember.
But I see you guys doing pretty well with good things out there. Man, y'all are having a blast.
We're trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Good
It's
things, just things.
Just
What's that?
So I don't know about good things, maybe just things.
Where you at now, Gut?
I'm over in Pennsylvania. I just got a job as a handyman, so be giving out a lot of handies.
For a reference, by the way.
They ever call you?
No, that's what I'm saying. They never called me for a reference. I was already like, I had my character like.
Hey, dude, like I said, you know the funniest one I did a reference for?
who?
Mike Hall.
Really?
Guess
Hall?
where he's at?
Where?
Texas,
He's-
right?
He's now in Kansas. He has his own farm. He started, and he works for John Deere.
Get the
Brag.
hell out of here. No way. Good for him.
Yeah, and he's doing pretty damn good, man.
That must be nice.
Just had a little girl, so I told him now she has him wrapped and he's beat up. Can't do nothing.
The only thing, I get worried sometimes because, like, if I ever have to get a real job, I get worried about, like, what I have to put on a resume. Like, if I have to put references, since it's been so long since I've had a real job.
Call me.
They
Put me down. I don't care.
It'll
They
be
had to
so
fill out
weird.
a paper application and they asked for my supervisor's name and number. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to give you my supervisor's name and number? I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
Like, you want the number to the PAX terminal?
I mean, some of y'all still got my number. Use me. I don't care. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get a real job for a while, so hopefully I don't have to do that.
Hell, I work at a paper mill right now.
You're down,
Oh, yeah?
you're down in Florida still, right?
Who?
You? I thought you were in Florida.
Man, I went to Alabama.
Yeah, one of the down somewhere down there. Yeah.
So
But
I work at a paper mill now.
Yeah.
So you're like Michael Scott from The Office.
You
No.
kind of look like Michael Scott.
Does he?
Good old Chimchuk, still the same.
So check your text messages. Also, what do you call it? We had if you ever need, I have let me know if you need references. I still technically have two companies, so I could give you references for both if you need.
So
Yeah.
whenever I start
Randy's
teaching, I
jobs.
definitely want to do that. Which
For what?
So I'm going back to school to be a teacher, but I'm a full-time musician right now. So that's like all I do. So like that whole gap of time, I really haven't had like a job with a boss. So it's just like when I do go to apply to be a teacher, that's going to be kind of weird. And I was thinking about it the other day. So
Just say that you were self-employed. That's all.
Hey, right?
I mean that's kind of what it is, but I don't know to like whether or not to put my agency or like my label on it, or just because like I don't like there's no boss. Like we just go, hey, we're gonna do this day. It's not like we have to run anything through those guys. It's just
That's all
weird.
right. Yeah, just say you're a 1099. You've been working for yourself.
I technically am an independent contractor though with my wedding band though. So I am.
Hey, I tell you what, like say I
Nope.
work at a paper mill. I'm just a peon that come to work and go home, and I have everybody dying with some of this crap that I say. They be like,
I bet.
they were like, you can't say that. Well, I just did, so get over it.
Well, I just
You
We're in
always-
Alabama.
When
Are
I
you?
found this one, fire me.
Was that?
We're in
I was looking
Alabama.
for
Are
you.
you?
I'm in Prattville,
Where the hell's Prattville at?
right outside of Montgomery, next to Maxwell Gunner.
Oh, okay.
Look at that head, Jonathan.
Huh?
Thank you for taking us out of the waste view.
Oh yeah. Well, no, my phone is
Listen,
about
put
to
it back
die. And I
down.
was trying to find my external battery, but I can't find it. So I'm now sitting on the floor to plug it in and give it a charge.
Nice.
You enjoyed that waste view. Don't pretend like you didn't.
I mean, it was a good look. It was.
Yeah.
He still got you guys.
It made the tan look really nice too.
Yeah.
And I don't even honestly spend that much time. I haven't spent that much time outside, like here, like in direct sunlight, because I'm always running around running errands. So, and then
What are
if
you
I'm not
doing
running
now?
Errands, I'm just chilling in the house.
Lyda just got out.
Really?
I'm on terminal leave, so
For 185,000.
for 136 days.
Where you at though?
I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Ooh, cold season up there, boy. Ooh.
No, it's not. It's been like in the 80s every day. But I'm going back. I start school in August. Finally going to law school, buddy.
Woo.
Yep.
He's getting it done.
I remember some of them days, boy. Everybody hit me up like, I got a problem. Like, oh Lord, what am I gonna do with this one?
Mm-hmm.
Different times. It was so you were there. What years were you at McGuire? Is that right?
From 08 to 13, and then from 15 until I retired, 16.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Where did you go in the middle?
Party.
Was that?
Where'd you go in the middle?
I went to Turkey.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with non-ball.
I do remember that. I just had I was just telling them I just had Ogletree on where she was in Turkey during like the attempted coup d'etat.
I was there when it happened.
Oh,
right
you were there
before.
too?
They happened twice.
Yeah, they did two of them. Yeah.
Did they?
But like this,
only
when I
read
was there, the wing commander and the wing command chief cannot set foot back in that country
Really?
Why?
because
What
they
was
said they tried to help them overthrow the Turkish government. Oh, dude, it was wild, man. I was there when we started getting rid of family members. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
forgot
they had to do that in
that.
like 2 nights or something, right?
Was that
They had to do that in like 2 nights, right? They had to.
the first set? We got rid of like as much as the dependents as possible, kind of let them leave on their own.
Yeah.
And then it kind of died down, but then we got locked down to the base for like ever.
That's where that lockdown started, where people couldn't go off base for a while, right?
Yeah.
Because there was people doing a full year tour out there and they never got to go off base at all.
Nope.
Rip.
And then like, I mean, it was bad, man. And like say, then the Army rolled in, and then you started having these fights on the base, Army against the Air Force. And then, I mean, it was horrible. It was bad.
Sounds like a place I'd never want to be stationed at.
I got good news for you.
I won't be.
By the way, Gutherman, is that
You ain't got to go back.
corn sack, which is the funniest Freeze. Is that corn sack behind you the thing that was in the dorm? That
Yeah, it is.
No
I got all
way.
3 of them.
By the way, how funny
Hold
is that I took over your dorm?
That was by design. Joyce, Huber, and Wrinkle didn't want to live with someone that wasn't 21.
That's
So I had to request on my exit that they get the only guy in the other dorms that was 21 to live with them.
That's right.
And then I
Wrinkle.
forgot my goddamn
What?
posters.
I remember the first time I met
Hey, I heard you.
like butt ass naked in that
Then you walked off.
ass recliner with a blanket over him.
Why?
He was always playing with himself. It was perfect.
Yeah, I thought you was on the phone.
Yep.
We I remember a couple of times people got naked in there. I think it was one time was when it was like Christmas. We watched like Die Hard, and we watched what was that one with Patrick Swayze, Red Dawn, and we just got really drunk, and I forget who got naked. I think it was Joyce. It was like, I'm gonna change things.
Joyce all the time.
Yeah.
I don't
Hey,
know.
remember when I brought my kids to
barely
work one day?
remember living in that dorm.
I do not remember when you brought your kids to work one day.
Well,
Yeah,
for
man.
some reason, I vaguely remember that.
When I was up there, when they used to clown pages on his truck and all that. Hey, now look.
Because he had that. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah,
Jesus, it's been that long?
exactly.
Jesus.
People used to work on.
Because they were making fun of Pages because he had the Tundra, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why.
but have you see what he's doing now?
Last I saw, he was in Alaska, but I'm assuming he left there.
He's working on his pilot's license.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Does he
Doing
work-
real good.
does he
Pretty
wanna
sure
be
he's isn't he a tech now as well?
He's a tech now too.
Motherfucker came in after me and is already ranked above me.
I'm a tech too, Lyda.
But he was
I
trying.
know. I'm pretty pissed about that. Too.
Hey, come on, bro.
Oh, did it?
Gutherman, did you get staff before you left, Gutherman?
Did I make staff? Yeah.
I'm the only one that left as a senior airman. Wow.
You fought the good fight, that's why.
E4 Mafia for life.
I don't know. I'm hoping I get tech like not long after I
It's easy once you get
transition into the guard.
once you're over there, it's so easy to get.
Well, the guard
Hey.
works a little bit differently. Like everything.
Just make
gets in the
sure
guard.
if you have any decorations that you have them, the originals.
No, I only have one decoration, and I just got that from my time in the CR.
For real?
Yeah.
You got more than that.
Even though I was there for 6 years, like they never did like a mid tour or anything like that. So,
That's surprising.
yeah. So the only reason why I have the decoration, the accommodation that I have, was because I pushed for it. I finally realized I'm like, no one's gonna I'm gonna be my best advocate in this. No one else is gonna do it. So,
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
There was no luck getting that one out of Qatar.
no, I tried. Because what was his name? Was my supervisor out there who was supposed to be writing it. The dude who left early.
Chernenko, yeah, that dude was a piece of
Chernenko, yeah.
fuck, that guy.
Apparently he was charged with writing my deck and then didn't.
Yeah,
Oh.
same with mine. He
Yeah.
didn't write mine, just dipped out.
Yeah. It's all good though. It's fine. It's whatever.
That's rough.
Sounds like a
That's
result.
crazy, dude.
Oh, Ogletree says hi. She said she never heard the term expression "cool cat" until you used that. All right, because everyone was a cat.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. You know where that's from?
Oh, stop, man.
It's not
I-
2020 anymore. Get out of
I
here.
erased that timeline of my life from like early 2020. Just like completely got rid of it from my memory. And the fact that you just brought that up just brought back Tiger King, all that. Like, I can't with that, man. I can't do it.
Just bringing back that we are all extraterrestrials, all aliens.
Are we
Yeah.
edible though? Is the question.
Nanu, Nanu.
I don't know.
Anything's edible if you like really try hard enough.
I guess
I
that's
get-
true technically.
Deep
mean-
fry it.
So you're telling me like when I go see male strippers at the club on Friday that they're edible?
Only the asses.
Only the asses, okay. I want
they're
you
not-
guys to know that I gave up going to see male go-go dancers tonight to be on this live stream.
Where
Thank
you're
you.
now seeing-
That's your own fault, dude. Like,
We're
don't
proud of you. We're proud of you.
You could have been
Actually, I
filming this in
didn't
the
want to go
club.
tonight anyway. So
Okay. Cool.
I feel like so. Wait, you're in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, in Raleigh, the state capital. Yeah.
Is there as many places to do that kind of stuff as there is up here?
So interestingly enough, I don't recall ever being able to like find a place up north that had like male strip clubs. Or if there was some, they had like these rules like no men are allowed, only females, and blah blah blah.
Philly has the neighborhood though.
Yeah, but I don't recall them ever doing like male strip club night or male stripper nights. Down here, though,
how'd you miss it? It was always in.
There was places, I assure you.
I mean, they advertise it on base sometimes. I'm like, I even heard about it.
Well, I never found it. But
to be fair, those advertisements were just flyers to some storm. So
there's a few gay bars down here, but there's only like one that does the male go-go dancers like every Friday.
Yeah.
For the most part, I'd say there's pretty much like no rules attached. Like you can go up there and they're like, you know, you can touch
Look
them.
Look at that devious ass smile on your face. That is absolutely following. You're like, there's no rules. Oh my God, Alex Pito, he's a dad too.
He's a dad twice, I think. He's in Alaska right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's I think he wants to retire there too. Him and Kristen they're happy, and he wants to open up he's getting like a whole bunch of ammo and guns now. He wants to open up like a gun store when he retires. Like
that's definitely the place to do it at. So
yeah,
it's the way to go. I mean, it can happen out there.
Yeah.
We're like kind of already like operating red as it is. Like it all it takes is like one more like good division to push us over the edge, and everybody starts shooting at each other.
Hey, matter of fact, talking about like, what was that girl that was in the CRW Lyda? She was on one of those shows where the Alaska they fly around hunting for stuff. Like,
was it the Russian?
No, she was from Alaska.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I know who you're talking about.
She was on an episode. I was like, wait a minute. That's it. I looked at her like, what the hell? You was on TV. She said, yeah, we used to fly around. I was like, wow. That's
I can't remember her name.
Oh,
what show?
She was cool as hell.
NCOA. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's still early over there.
Yeah, I ain't gotta worry about that.
That's why Fenton's not here. Fenton has a he got off work at like 5:30 or whatever, 5, and I guess his wife's grandma's in town, so they were doing stuff there. So we'll do this again. We'll do this at some point.
His grandma. I mean,
yeah, like another month.
Most definitely.
This will be fun. Yeah, Washington was great. It was great. They showed me. I saw Bickham last year. Also, I had to travel to Colorado because I was selling this really high-end Pokemon card, and it was like 45 minutes away from Bickham.
Oh shit!
And I didn't rent a car there because I was going to be there for like a day, and I had to hold up in like this Chili's for like 6 hours, and I have like. I have like $100,000 worth of Pokemon cards with me, and like place I don't know. Like hopefully I don't get robbed.
You're freaking out, yeah.
Yeah, and then Bickham finally comes to the rescue, takes me to the Space Force base they have over there. I was like, oh, this is legit. I got Taco Box or Taco. It wasn't Taco Bell. Jack in the Box. Yeah, maybe it was that. And
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, and
that's nothing but a Hardee's.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, I miss Wawa.
Oh, I went to Wawa today before the podcast just to get some snacks since I don't have a kitchen right now.
Wawa's finally coming to North Carolina. They like skipped over North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia and went to Florida, and they're finally coming, like migrating my way.
Their quality took a dump.
I almost got Bickham to come out. I almost got Bickham to come out here in December because I had a really big show at a venue, and I asked him to come out, and he was like this close to flying out, and then he had to work. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good right now.
Yeah.
He's still out in Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay there, man. He loves it out there.
Yeah.
You guys remember Rivera?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luis.
Yeah.
Him and his wife just moved to Denver. Like
last week. Really?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Were they in Jersey still at that time or no?
Yeah, they lived in Camden.
They still lived like at the old RCA.
They were in Camden?
Yeah, they were over in Camden.
They lived in like these real. So there was like this apartment building that got built, and he was one of the first people to become a tenant there, and it was so cheap. But what you got in square footage was insane. Like they had like this view of the Delaware River off his balcony. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, I remember that apartment.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were right next to the aquarium.
The aquarium.
Both times.
Yep.
because I grew up like maybe 5 minutes away from him. So when I first started to talk to him, I was like, yeah, because I was living at my mom's at the time, just like collecting that BAH. And I was like, yeah, man, like I live like 5 minutes away from you. So like, just let me know. But yeah, that was like a sweet
for a little bit.
They're in Denver now, and he's loving it.
I'd love it in Denver too.
Yeah.
I still have him on Snapchat, I think. Or I don't know. He doesn't like post there anymore. I don't know if he ever opens it.
Oh my God. Yeah, I used to post the funniest things on Snapchat, had me dying.
I remember a lot of your posts on there too.
I mean, I'm like, yeah, because y'all would jack my phone. I come back, I'm like, I gotta leave my phone in dispatch because I gotta go on the line. I come back, like, pew, pew, pew. I'm like, what the hell's going on with my phone? Oh man, between Lyda, Harnish, Vanessa.
To be fair, Pages was like the most guilty as screw.
Max, yeah, Pages. What's his name? Magic.
McAllister,
all you cats. I mean, I swear I had at least 40 million like hits. I was like, what the hell happened here? I'm like, never again.
You know what happened to Madrigal? What's he been up to?
I haven't talked to Madrigal since I left.
When I left, he was working at ATOC. And
what about his counterpart that used to hang out with him all the time?
DC?
DC, yeah. Where's DC?
DC.
I don't know where he's at, but I know Madrigal was talking about going to live with his brother for a while.
Did he get out?
I think he did get out as well.
He was working over in what was that shop in PAX that was in the outbound gate?
Oh, Data Records?
Data Records, that's what it was.
Yeah.
He was working in there when I left.
Wow.
Yeah. I was trying to get him into Cape forecasting, but what's her name took it. I can't remember her name.
Is that Brooks?
No. It's not going to come to me. I honestly don't know.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. But Madrigal's like one of those guys that like super quiet, super reserved, but he was so high speed and could do what like anything you ever asked him to do, he would do it and he would just run with it.
Man, did you ever listen to his life story?
Yeah,
man.
What was his life story?
Oh my God.
Dude,
he grew up in Mexico, so that's all you really need to know.
Oh, all right.
Hey, he rode a horse to high school some days. I thought that was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like in cartel country.
Yeah, he had a great story.
And like DC, that Joker was one of the top ranked Xbox players online.
That did not surprise me at all. And then, however, when he like overnight got jacked out of nowhere, like I was just like,
he came back from deployment and he was
ripped.
Like,
I was like, no longer sticks and bones. This mug is just like meat and potatoes.
Yeah. Like, because, you know, like guys go deploy, they'll come back like a twig, and then they'll like, you can tell they went to the gym and be like, yeah, man, good for you. He came back swole as shit. I was like, damn, DC, what the hell?
He was
I came back from the deed fat as shit.
Well, because you could drink over there.
He was doing that Mongolian night, man. He was a Mongolian night.
Well, so, you know this. I know this is gonna sound weird, but like for some reason, the Burger King and the Pizza Hut over there was like way better than the Burger King and the Pizza Hut.
I can see your fat ass with that deviant ass smile that you just had going up and just getting that with goat cheese on that Pizza Hut and some Burger King that's been sitting out for 2 days.
That shit was delicious, bro.
Do you want to know how fat Lyda was one day? We're on the same shift. We go to McDonald's for sweet tea. We go to Taco Bell for something else, and we go to Burger King for something else. Like Lyda, we just went to three different.
It was Wendy's. It was Wendy's, and
we
like
went to 3 different fast food restaurants.
So yeah, we're in the break room in the back, and I just remember Lieutenant DeMont walking in, and he's like, "What fat fuck went to 3 different places?" And I'm just sitting there eating my burger, like.
Wait, do you guys remember? You remember Jenkins?
No,
Jalen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were okay. So you remember him. So you weren't on shift that day, but it was Williams. He was supervising shift that day, and it was like a down Sunday. It was me and Jenkins together, and I remember Jenkins was like, "Man, like, why don't you just split the shift? Like, let us go home." Like he was bitching the whole time trying to go home, and he said something about McDonald's, and Williams goes, "If you can eat 100 nuggets, I'll let you go home early from shift today." And he goes, "Bet, I'll go do it." So I take him to McDonald's. We go to get McDonald's. I wanted to go get something myself. So we go. He gets 100 nuggets. But
how much did that cost him?
Yeah, I forget, but it wasn't as bad as you would think.
It was like 20. He paid like 20, like $25 or $26.
And the reason why the 100 nuggets thing came up is because we were like talking about our daily McDonald's order. He's like, "Yeah, I just get 40 nuggets and that's it." We're like, 40 nuggets? Like, you can eat 40 nuggets? He's like, "Yeah, easy. I could eat 60. And then like it just kept going up. He's like, "If you can eat 100, I'll let you go home." So we go there. He orders 100 nuggets. They don't have 100 nuggets. So they were like, "It's going to be like 5 to 10 minutes." And we're like, "All right, whatever." So he gets impatient and he gets one of those like, he gets a large Fruitopia fruit punch. It drinks the whole thing. And I'm like, "Bro, you're not going to be able to eat even 40 nuggets when you get like that's like a meal, right?" He's like, "Whatever, I'll do it." So we go back. He eats about 75 nuggets. He's laying on the couch. It's a Sunday. I forget who the lieutenant, I think it was Conrad at the time. Lieutenant Conrad came in and he looks through the corner and he's like on the couch in a fetal position, just going, "Oh my fucking God, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done this." He's like, and Williams is laughing. He's like, "Was it worth going home?" And he's like, "No, it wasn't worth it." And Lieutenant Conrad peeks over and civilian goes, he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "He tried to eat 100 nuggets so he could go home." And he goes, "Nice." Walked away.
Conrad was so cool. He was
a super cool guy. Yeah. He was like a tech in the reserves before he commissioned.
He's a major now.
Yeah, he's Major Conrad.
Major Conrad. Good for him.
Yeah, he was in the reserves for like 10 years and he made it to tech.
Yep. And crossed over.
Yep.
He's so he could retire as a major. Oh, good for him.
That's a good spot.
Y'all remember what was the one lieutenant's name? Meacham. You guys remember Lieutenant Meacham?
Man, he got out, dude.
I heard the name,
The two DUI.
He got kicked out, yeah. I remember I actually saw Superman. I saw Man of Steel with him and somebody else. I forget. And Co. I don't know if you remember Co.
I've heard the name. I don't remember
the Coco there.
But the funniest thing with Lieutenant Meacham, I'll never forget the day he came in when his mom and dad brought him in.
Oh no way!
Oh, because he didn't have the car.
He didn't have a car, and they talked to I think it was either Colonel Flack at the time.
No, was it Major Hogan?
It was Major Hogan. There you go.
Oh, no
Talked to him and said, "Here's our expectations. Can you take care of him? This." And I was sitting there looking like, I said, "You a grown ass man and got your parents coming up here?"
Oh my God.
So, did you guys work with Captain Verticana?
No.
Never
The
mind.
name sounds familiar.
You probably remember him. He was the DO when you left.
When who left?
He never left the office ever. He he hid back there, but he's with me now at the 35th. So
nice. I deployed with a lot of people from. I don't know if they were from the 88th or the 35th. Peter said he rocked. They were. It was Venegas, it was Ramirez, it was Baggins. Baggins was so cool. He was such a chill guy.
Bilbo?
Yeah.
Bilbo Baggins?
We would call it because his last name was Baginski. We would call him Baggins. So we'd like Bilbo. There were a lot of people. They were just fun. There were a lot of exciting peeps. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember Woodruff. The 30-year staff sergeant.
Yes. I remember the one day that we had that blizzard in, I think it was 2014, and Harnish was like 3 seconds away from eviscerating that man in front of the tax terminal.
No, I got a great.
She got a mean right.
I got a great Harnish and Woodruff story. So
I think it's the same one.
Thing, if you guys remember, was like keeping the garage door closed. And anytime we'd come in and open it, we would leave it open, and he would get so pissed. So I think this was like a Sunday. It was like me, Harnish, Woodruff, and I can't remember who
me and
else
Haley were there too.
Huh?
Me and Haley were there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And so like Arnish kept intentionally leaving the garage door open just to piss Woodruff off. And I was on dispatch and he'd come back there and he'd be like, the garage door, who keeps doing it?
You forgot like his most angry thing though. He came in and he was just like, LOCs for everybody.
For what? What? Because of the door?
Yeah.
It wasn't for anything. That dude was a little bit unhinged. Not like way out there, but just a little bit. There was one day Rivera mouthed off to him, and he made me, Tolliver, and Rivera read the Little Brown Book because Rivera was a little mouthy. I was like, well, first off, I was just fucking sitting here.
I hate to write paperwork. I ain't gonna lie. What was matter of fact, Kehley, no. What was my favorite term?
I forget at this point.
What day off you giving me for training?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right then, everybody's like, "What? I mean, you coming on your day off, man? I'll be here with you." Oh no, okay. One day, and after that, it never happened again. I'm like, cool.
That's so true. Honestly, like that goes like so much farther. Like in any circumstance in life, like take away somebody's personal time, like that'll teach a lesson for sure.
Oh,
even 5 minutes.
Who was it? It was at the time frame. I made the whole day shift come in on a weekend. Who was there?
What was it? What was it? The time where you had all of morning shift and night shift run a gauntlet on my arms because I was promoting to senior airman.
I don't know what you're talking
about.
Bruise AF. Couldn't feel them. Like by the time I went one, I turned around. I was like, "This is just."
Yeah, I remember that.
Them was the fun days, though. You had to have a little fun.
Those are great. Those are good.
Some human janitor
saying that. Look at Randy's father. Is not related.
The complexion's very similar. So
we're not related. Promise me.
I mean, I don't know. You ever spend any time in Peru?
Well, back when I was in band camp, no.
Are you actually an alien and just not telling us?
Well,
because that's a working theory that I've heard before.
For who? Me?
No, that Chavez actually came from aliens.
Yeah, so I have like a little bit of a cult following where they'll make up like a lot of stuff, and some of it is like not that far off, but also some of it is like, yeah, like an alien thing. Like he's not real.
How many people have gotten a tattoo of your face?
One person got a tattoo of the real Randy Chavez on his wrist.
His wrist, I remember that one. I saw that.
Yeah, but it wasn't of my face though. Let's see if I can find it. I think I put it in my downloads or something. Or it was in my pictures, wherever it was. I do not have it now, but I thought that was interesting. That was fun.
You have quite the cult following there, Chavez.
It's exciting. It's fun. I went to this thing called Designer Con last year, and I actually felt like a celebrity because everyone was having me like sign stuff. I was already drunk, and everyone was like just trying to buy me drinks, and I was like, "Oh God, this is not going to end well." And but that's what happened. That's what it ended. Yeah, I can't find it. It's in one of my folders. I don't know where it went.
Wait, Lyda, do you remember the liberal agenda folder?
Yes, I do.
People that
I know
the
about
guitar.
What's a liberal agenda folder?
All right. It's a little bit of a story time.
Okay.
So this was back when one of the gay porn sites, Sean Cody, where if you paid for the membership, you could download as many of their videos as you wanted for free. So I paid for like a month's subscription or a month's membership. And then I literally would spend hours just downloading all of their videos.
Oh my God.
And then I would move them over to my external hard drive, and I labeled the folder the liberal agenda. Just a bunch of gay porn.
that mug got opened on a computer. Somebody was like, "What the world?" Like,
Wait, because I think you plugged in that hard drive to watch a movie at Shift one day, and I was like, "What's the liberal agenda?" And you looked at me, you were like, "You don't want to know."
You don't want to know. No, the biggest thing that scared me. Okay, so this was like my last like week or two over at the 305th before I moved over to the CR, and I had my laptop with me, and it was like it still was on Sean Cody from the night before, and they were doing it was a commander's call, so.
Put some Neosporin on it.
At some point, I was on the flight line doing something, and then someone messaged me, and they're like, "Hey, do you have your laptop with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And they're like, well, our laptop's not working for the commander's call, so we need to do yours." And I was like, "All right, well, I will give it to you." Like, specifically, I remember saying, like, as soon as I get done with this, I will give it to you. I come back, these motherfuckers had already ransacked my backpack, took out my laptop, opened it up. Thank God at some point during the night, it did a reboot, so it wasn't stuck on the gate board.
That's
my God.
An intervention, man. They didn't want to make everybody sinners. That's why.
Yeah. I think I remember the first time I told like Gutherman about the liberal agenda, and he made a joke about how like some crazy right winger would probably be delving in there, and like, I know it's in here somewhere.
I know Bernie Sanders' tax plan's in here somewhere. God damn it.
You remember when we were in Qatar and people were coming up asking, I think it was me and somebody else if you were gay, because they couldn't believe that you were gay.
I said it was ready.
Was that Meadows?
It might have been. I don't remember who it was. They were like, "Is Lyda really gay?" I was like, who fucking cares? The answer is yes, but so what?
It blows some people mind. So listen to this shit. So you guys ever done like a go to see like a medium, a psychic to do like a tarot card reading?
No, never done that.
No. Okay. So I've been on like a reading kick here lately. So I did one in New Jersey like 2 weeks before I left. And I think she was probably like the real deal, pretty spot on. But I was like, but I want to see if like there's some, like if someone down here will say the same shit that she said. So I did this Zoom one from a lady like in Fayetteville.
I'll be right back.
And okay, and she's on the love portion, and she's like, the cards are telling me that you're gonna meet a nice female. She's gonna be really pretty. She's actually gonna look like your mother. And I'm just sitting there like laughing the whole time. I'm like, clearly you are not the real deal.
Wow.
Apparently no gaydar either.
Apparently no gaydar either.
Yeah,
but the one in New Jersey though, she when she was talking about future love aspect, she didn't use he or she. She just said you're going to meet someone when you move to North Carolina. It's not going to be right away. It's going to be a few months down the road. But I'm getting the feel you're going to meet someone. It's going to be like near a body of water, and they're going to have kids, which means you're going to have kids. And I'm like, I ain't getting together like.
I was like, I'm gonna get my dad pants on.
Now here's the funny thing, right? And he hasn't messaged me back yet, but some dude liked me in Facebook dating, right? So I pulled up his profile and what's that?
There's a Facebook dating app now?
Yeah. Well, it's not an app. It's on like it's in Facebook. One of the things down below it says dating, and you just create like a separate profile for your dating profile. But anyway, this one dude who the other day liked me in Facebook dating, and he's 40 years old, pretty attractive dude. He lives in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is right by the beach, and on his profile it says that he has kids, and I was like, is this my future spouse? Is this who she was talking about? So I sent him a message like, hey, I haven't heard back yet, but
wow.
Yeah, I'm glad you're looking into the older peeps. Finally, I told you to do this a while ago.
Yeah. Well, I'm in my 30s
I'm
now,
a big
man. I
fan.
can't be as picky as I used to be.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, also like if me and Danielle ever broke up, if I ever started dating again afterwards, I could not date like a 24-year-old. Like I couldn't. It would have to be someone Like I know I always go older anyway, but it would have to like minimum like 35.
I mean, at this point, you probably just shouldn't.
Well, that's kind of like fair game now for you guys. So
yeah, that's true.
35 is right in our window.
Yeah. So my taste hasn't faltered. Like the last 12 years, I've been into like late 30s or 40s, anywhere around there. Hasn't changed. Like it hasn't gone to although like there's a couple people that are like in their 50s.
As you increased it all, it's just stayed right where it's at.
I mean, there's a couple of girls I dated that like we were 50 or she was 50 when like it ended, or she was like, I don't know, like a couple of girls like, 50 is still good looking, still great. Like I'm not attracted to 60-year-olds though. Like it's not a thing yet. It might. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know.
That's the line for you. 59 is fine, but
so for me, my minimum age is like I need you to be at least 25. And then like every year I get older, that minimum age goes up. So like when I turn 32, my minimum age will be 26. Like I need you to trend along with me.
That makes sense.
I don't think I have like a max age. Like obviously I'm not going to get married to like some 75-year-old who's 1 foot in the grave.
Well, he's rich.
Why not?
He's super rich.
Well, I mean, I would have to like see that will and know that I'm like his sole heir to all of his fortune.
You could like write it for him at that point. Just be like, all right, everything goes to Jonathan Lyda. Everything goes. Actually, Lyda, I don't know if you still are. You were my like power of attorney, like in case I was like on that. Yeah, but do not resuscitate on me. Like pull the plug, kill him.
I'm pretty sure that's already expired because those were only good for like a certain amount of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's no longer valid.
Yeah, it was saying that they go on forever, and he's gonna steal all of your wealth.
Yeah,
it was Wolfgang for a while, but then she moved to Germany. It's like, all right, gotta give it to Lyda. But yeah, I guess that was years ago, so I gotta make it different. But Wolfgang will be back in like a year, though. She's on. She's in Germany. She's going to, I think, South Korea, or she's going somewhere, and then she's going stateside afterwards.
She's planning on getting in, or is she getting out?
No, she's probably gonna stay in for the 20.
Nice.
Yeah, at this point she'll be over 10, right?
She's
close to it. Yeah.
Yeah, she's joined in 2013, so she's there, and I think Hooper's doing the same thing. Hooper was in Germany. Hoop dog. Dude. When I stayed with her, when me and Thompson went to when we went to Europe in 2019, and the cooking was amazing.
Oh, she's a fantastic cook.
Yeah, I knew she was always a good, like, she always baked cookies, baked brownies, whatever. But then she would, like, I bought all the groceries, and then she's like, yeah, you buy them, I'll cook them. Like, okay. It was great. We were just watching Stranger Things, pigging out, drinking whiskey. It's a great time.
Sounds like heaven, honestly.
It was so much fun. And then the movies. So nobody told me that in Germany or in Europe in general, people don't cheer in movies like they do in America.
Nope.
And I look like the biggest dumbass. we were watching Captain Marvel. We went to see, and then at one point, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, like gets like knocked around, but she's about to get angry, so to kick some ass, like, get him, Carol. I was like, screaming, and then everyone's looking at me. I was like, what? Like, you're not pumped about this? And so salty.
I went to I saw, I think it was it wasn't The Last Jedi. It was The Force Awakens. I saw Force Awakens with my stepfather. So every year when the Star Wars movies would come out, that would be like my birthday gift to my stepdad, because the movies would always end up coming out on the day of his birthday. So I was like, oh, cool, easy birthday gift. I'll take him out to go see the movie. We'll go grab a beer afterwards, whatever. Yeah. So we went, and for The Force Awakens, we went to the earliest showing. We went at like 9 a.m. or something like that. And I asked Bickham to go with me. And because it was actually the next day. We couldn't go for the actual opening day. We went the very next day, early in the morning. And I asked Bickham to come with us, and he showed up, and he comes with us. And we're in like this IMAX theater. There's like 300 people in there, and like everybody's so hyped up. And they did like this little preview, and there was like this awkward silence of about 8 seconds where they were like, I guess, switching reels or something like that. And he did this Chewbacca noise. He went, and it got the biggest laugh I've ever heard in my life. He looked at me, he was like, that was pretty cool. Huh? He's such a goofball, man. I miss that guy.
I love him. Yeah, we saw Wonder Woman together, and then we watched the Loki series when I was at his place last year in
Nice.
in Colorado. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that Loki series. That was trippy.
I haven't seen
I
it
haven't
yet.
seen it.
It's pretty
Have
good.
you guys seen Morbius?
Oh, Owen Wilson is Morbius. Yeah.
Wait, is he really?
Yeah, Owen Wilson's Morbius. Yeah.
No,
He's got-
he's not.
Yeah, in the Loki series. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the new Morbius movie.
Oh no, I don't know what I thought you were talking about.
That's Jared Leto.
No, I've heard the new Morbius movie is awful.
Oh,
It's
Jared
terrible.
Leto did not do well in.
He doesn't do well in
Anything.
anything except
Yeah.
for American Psycho. And that's because he's a very hateable character, which is how he is in real life anyway. He's very hateable.
You seem to have
I
my
thought he
opinion,
was.
guy.
I thought he was okay in the. I can't think of the. I'm drawing a blank on the movie, the name of it, where, it's like post World War II Japan. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Is
Letter
that
from Iwo Jima?
we were soldiers? No.
No. He becomes part of like a. What do they call? What do they call the Japanese gang over there?
Yakuza?
Yeah,
Uh,
he becomes like
Yakuza?
part of the Yakuza.
Oh, that movie was just on TV.
Is that like a 90s movie?
Tokyo
No,
Drift.
it's not. It's not a
Tokyo
90s
Drift.
movie.
It came out like maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
He falls in love with a Japanese chick, and he goes into the Yakuza world.
Yep.
And that's
I just
Jared
watched
Leto?
it like a couple days ago.
Yeah. But he was pretty good in that.
I mean, do you like 30 Seconds to Mars at all?
No.
I like a couple of their songs.
Yeah.
I know it's him.
That's the way I am. I like a couple of their songs, but other than like he's a great singer, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Like I just can't get over his arrogant aura that he gives off of like being. I don't know. It might be completely unjustified how I think of him, but I get like that elevated plane of thinking. That's how he thinks of himself. Vibe. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've read that on Reddit also, where like people like meet him and they're like not happy.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Loki before, and there's this app called veve that I always post about,
Yeah.
and they release all these like Disney partnered with them, and so did Marvel. So
Yeah,
they had the Loki NFTs, but it wasn't like the Tom Hiddleston Loki. It was the alligator Loki.
yeah,
so-
you always post about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went a little crazy and I bought over 200 of them. So but it's different because there's common, which are really cheap. There's ultra rare, which are a little more expensive, and there's secret rare, which is like they're kind of expensive. But I love that character. Not a lot of it. I just had to show my bag there, show my NFT that everyone should download that veve app. Sorry, I have to say that in every video.
Well, you gotta put your plugs in where you get them. You know.
Got it. Have you guys gotten into crypto? Have you guys gotten into or is it just like say 401k? Just
So I had like $500 in Bitcoin.
good.
But I've spent so much money recently between moving and stuff. Like I had to like take that out to, pay a couple bills here and there. So
yeah.
I started my TSP about 5 years too late. And then haven't had a job that's offered any sort of retirement plan since. So
those are hard to come by. Civilian jobs that have retirement plans are like non-existent.
Yeah.
Well, there was one. There's a regional airport near me that I had a job at. I wound up passing it up for this one that I just took, but they were offering 4% matching, which wouldn't have been bad. But
Yeah, not bad.
yeah.
My
Yeah,
wife has a good 401k. but I can't wait to get into teaching so I can take that pension, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only place like left that you're gonna that still has
Like my job, I work at
strong
I
pension.
work at International Paper, so they got a retirement plan in 401k. It ain't bad.
Yeah.
I just threw everything into crypto and hope for the best.
I've thought about it, but with me, like just being in flux, like I don't know how long my situation's gonna last.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to ride it as long as I can. So I'm just like, I'll just stay right where I'm at just in case.
Well, how long do you have in school?
I have about a year left, but I got accepted into the master's program, so I'm going to do in the year the master's program. But
Good deal.
Master over.
Like we're trying to do a touring schedule next year, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Teaching's like my plan, but if stuff happens down the line, like it's kind of like that's like my backup plan, but it is my plan in a way, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Whenever I was thinking about applying to law school, I knew I needed a backup plan in case, that didn't, come to fruition. And that's when I went and got my pilot's license, because if you try to use your GI Bill to get your pilot's license, like the VA won't pay out unless you already have a private pilot's license.
That's it.
And
Really?
then they start picking up from there. But it's also so hard to find like an actual like university that has like a flying program. There's not many of them.
Well, it's like Embry Riddle, and you have to go to the in-person. That's down in Florida, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and then there's the other one that I found was Purdue University in Indiana. They have a pilot track program there. And then there's one actually in New Jersey, Mercer County Community College.
It's like up north, I believe, right?
Yeah. They fly out of the Trenton Mercer Airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, Infinity Flight School is who the college partners up with.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you mean about backup plans, and I feel like the military just kind of like really brainwashed us into that mindset. Like, what's your plan? What's your plan? Oh, do you have a backup plan? Do you have a plan C? Do you have a plan D?
Yeah.
I feel like they made us want
Plan B,
to
and
just
it's okay.
rely.
What's that?
What's up, Dad?
Oh, I said I got a plan D, and it's hooking.
That's good.
We walked right into that.
That was a good one.
Yeah. I'd totally I'd try to gamble with it, and I would say like, okay, I'll grab Dad for an hour, but then I'll set up like a camera for OnlyFans and see if I could make as much money as I spend on him as that hour. If it works, to do it again. Keep it going. Go another hour.
I'll tell you.
I mean, some people are making more on OnlyFans than they are working at their actual job.
If you could guarantee me I could make $50K a year on OnlyFans, like doing feet and hand pics, I'm in. I don't care. I'll advertise it.
Kehley, aren't you packing like a major meat stick? Like you could probably make like $100,000 on OnlyFans doing that.
You can act all bashful now.
Oh, geez, guys.
I feel like you're the one that told me this.
It's not a major meat stick. It's more like a captain meat stick.
You ever see those pepperoni sticks in the grocery store? It's kind of something like that.
So I had
Sure, it
this,
curls, but
hey, look, it's Kristen Pito.
Hey,
She was cold.
hey.
Not just Pito.
Listen, I had to shave because, like it was getting a little raggedy.
you
but
didn't have to. You chose to.
You're
Yeah,
right.
you did.
You know what? I'm afraid to say it. I did choose to. I'm afraid to say it.
I forget what I was talking
I love
about.
her I love her icon picture of a kitty cat with a rainbow holding a Pop-Tart.
Neon cat.
I don't know. I kind of like the ninja sash.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I overlooked it completely.
Perfect.
Trying to find a recent picture of me. I guess I don't have. I had a beard up until like last week.
Really?
Yeah. All right, I could just go to one of my YouTube videos. I'll go and play one from last week, and I'll show y'all. It was. Nope, not that one. Not especially shaved.
Was it your face?
So I was interviewing this guy that's got almost as much crypto as I do, and that's the.
Yo, look at you, bro.
You kind of see it a bit there.
That's an Al Qaeda beard.
Yeah.
No, Chavez, you know what you got to do? You got to grow your beard out, and you have to have like that pharaoh tie where you braid it all the way down like a straight, like almost like a rod.
I've seen those, yeah.
You should do that. That would be pretty electric. And you have a ponytail in the back.
Got the pony. I'll have a what do you call it? I'll get one again probably. I don't want to keep a beard in the summer; just gets hot. But probably next winter I'll do that because it grows pretty quickly over like a month. It's nice and stacked.
It's that Peruvian blood, man.
That Peruvian blood does not do well in the cold.
No, it does not at all. Which is kind of funny because you're kind of like, well, I guess now that. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't do well in the cold at all.
I thought Peruvians were mountain people.
That's true.
I guess the Incas are, which I guess I'm part Incan technically, I guess, from what I've been told. I'm too scared to do that 23andMe.
No, I was just about to say that, Chavez. Like, you should do the 23andMe. I did it because I had the same situation. Like, obviously, I'm white. I know that.
Really?
Yeah. But I didn't know like what part of like Europe I came from because we, like when I was growing up, my mom would say like, "Oh, we're like a hodgepodge of stuff. Like we're Russian, we're part German,
I'm gonna
French."
take a guess at what you predominantly are, and I'm gonna say German.
No,
I was gonna say Hungarian.
No. See, we had heard Eastern European as well. None of that was true. I got my results back. I am
Cambodian.
How did you know? No, my results came back. I am 99.95% Northwest European. 70% of that is British.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
British, and then like 20% is like French. So when I got my results, I was like so happy. I was like, this explains why I'm such an Anglophile. Like I love everything like British. I do. I don't know why. And I'm like, this makes sense. So then like I proceeded to get really drunk, like a celebratory drunk. I got so drunk that I opened up YouTube on my TV and started playing God Save the Queen and singing along to it.
Oh my God.
I even did one of those like British salutes where they do that. And I did that the whole time I was singing God Save the Queen.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, if you ordered one of those freaking tall black pointy type hats that the Abbey guards wear.
Yeah.
Oh, the Grenadier Guards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like all that old school stuff. Like you like old man movies. You like old. I don't know. I feel like you just got old.
You are
an
old man at heart. You really are. You
I'm an old
complain
man
about a lot of
physically,
shit.
Yeah.
You're always grumpy.
Yes. Very impatient.
You
Especially
really are
when
just like an old man. Like that's what it is.
Especially when I'm hungover is like, and also like grumpy. You know what I mean? Like today was bad. Like, I mean, I didn't realize like how drunk I got last night until like I had an empty champagne bottle and then half the bottle of whiskey was gone.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I had errands to run today. So like
you're gonna make a great lawyer.
Costco. Huh?
You're gonna make a great lawyer.
Yeah. So I'm on my way to Costco and I'm going down like Fayetteville Road. And there's like this white truck in front of me who's going like exactly the speed limit. And then all of a sudden his turn is like a mile down the road and he starts doing one of those like long slowdowns. And I'm like, get the fuck out of the way.
He went all Gran Torino on him like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah, I am an old man at heart. I do like old stuff. You know, I like history. So dramas. Yeah, love it all.
But 60-year-old men just right off the table.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta have some standards. I gotta I'm sorry, but like I still need to be able to get it up.
They make pills for that now.
They do.
Yeah. No,
Philadelphia
I'm
just
starting to
got
get worried. So I
900 of
messaged
them.
Yeah,
Joyce.
man, you
Smuggling
get that
in.
shit at a gas station, you're good to go.
We have the technology.
God damn, it's Jason Bourne.
That's another sign that you're getting old. Like when you really want to get it up and you can't.
Don't think I've had that problem yet.
Oh, I
happened,
did just the other day.
times.
Jeez.
Whiskey
Yeah.
dick exists for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Although-
wasn't drunk. I was sober.
John,
Maybe you need to get drunk for it to happen, for your little airman
Wait,
to come
did
out.
this happen with the Polish sausages?
The Polish man? No, it did not happen. I was such a the 3 weeks I was over there, I was such a whore. I had a different dude every night.
Amazing. I remember Joyce.
One
me
in
and Joyce
particular didn't speak any English, and I was like, "That's all right, baby. I don't need you to speak English."
you went shh.
I seriously thought about marrying
Oh,
that one
no.
though. Like, hey, you want some TRICARE and BAH?
It was
You
that
want that
good.
green card?
So it was that good
He was super pretty too.
that you. Wow. Sudden
Yeah.
Okay.
He offered him TRICARE.
But he didn't speak English, so he doesn't know what TRICARE is.
Yeah. Can explain it to him. Do we know anyone that actually got had this like a 40-year-old woman off base and trying to get with like the 20-year-old airman for the TRICARE for the BH? Do we know
I've seen
anyone?
a lot of it.
He's like, yes. Absolutely. I
I've
mean,
seen a lot of it.
I've heard of stories, but I can't really definitively say for sure something like that happened.
Yeah, I don't.
But like this,
Anybody.
when I first joined the military, it was always stay away from the Filipinos. Stay away from the Filipinos. I'm like, what are you talking about? I turn around, all the old white dudes were married to Filipino chicks. I'm like,
Honestly, that's so true because even in in PAX, all the old retired guys would be like the old white dudes. They would have a Filipino wife. And it would just be interesting to get in conversation with them because they'd be like, oh yeah, I still live in the Philippines full time. And I'm like, I know what you did. I know what you were doing.
retirement's cheap.
Yeah.
I bet. I don't know. I think if I go to Florida, I'm just gonna stay there and just I'll be retired in Florida and just not. I might do. Me and Danielle might have a trifecta because she's got a place in the Poconos, so we might go there in the summer or whatever.
I tried to
Florida
buy
gets
property up there last.
You're gonna do the Donald Trump thing, like during the winters, you live in Florida, and during the during the summers, you're back up north.
Yeah,
Every northern retired person.
I think
from Jersey and Pennsylvania area, that's written in stone. You have to do that.
Yeah.
When you retire,
Retirement age, you got to move down to Fort Lauderdale.
If you apply for a driver's license in Pennsylvania, you're entering an agreement with the government that you go down to Florida after 65 during the winter.
They're not just moving to Florida now, too. I can't even tell you how many New York, New Jersey, and a few Pennsylvania license plate that I've seen in North Carolina. And I'm just like, you guys are clearly lost. Like, you need to be heading north. You need to be going back.
It's warmer down there.
Yeah.
I heard that Ohio is particularly bad for South Carolina. Everybody in Ohio goes to South Carolina for the winter.
What, really?
That's
I
why
like Ohio. Ohio's great.
But
That was a lot of fun. My friends there are getting guns everywhere. There's lots of land.
But Cleveland's there, and Cleveland's such a bad city.
Well, don't go to Cleveland.
Cincinnati, the two.
There's chili. They got chili.
But honestly, it's a mass migration everywhere because you have a lot of California transplants that are moving to Colorado, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Themselves out of the
everything's a
city.
big shift. Everybody's trying to do the polar opposite of what they were doing and just try and do something really different.
Yeah.
I'll do the I might just take when I get I was supposed to get a Cybertruck this year, but they delayed it till next year. So when I get that, I'll just do a whole
Well, yeah, it was supposed to be this year.
a whole tour, and I'll decide which state I like best.
How do you feel about the Elon Musk thing with Twitter?
It's great. So I have to come into this saying that I'm, for the most part, an Elon Musk fanboy, and not that he can do no wrong, but I love a lot of the stuff, like most of the stuff that he's done.
I'm a pretty liberal guy, and I'm on the same boat as that. I trend more towards supporting him buying Twitter than not.
Here's the thing. I don't think, and look, I'm a Elon Musk fan as well, and I'm not on
Elon Musk shirt right now.
I'm not a
Elon fucking Musk. It's all worn out. Sorry, Lyda, keep going.
That's
No,
how much
you're
of a
good.
fanboy
I'm
he is.
like-
He wears the shirt every day.
I'm not on Twitter, never have been. I'm glad I never jumped on that
Neither am I.
bandwagon. I just didn't care for it. But I honestly don't think that Elon Musk is as much of a free speech apps purist as he bills himself to be. Because you guys remember, you remember the whole Elon jet thing where like this teenager was tracking everywhere that he flew and would put it on Twitter, and then Elon Musk tried to like get him shut down from doing that. That's a form of censoring speech, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's also a safety
offered a
issue.
job to her. You know.
Like that's a security issue. Like
it's a form of speech, though. If she's putting it out there, like in the public domain.
I guess so. That's just you're right, but it's also
Well, so during his TED talk, the question came up about it specifically indicated or
not
it
even a good
specifically
vibe,
put him in a
that's
corner about whether like if somebody makes a death threat towards like a politician or something, like what are you going to do? And essentially it would be on a case by case basis of like what is the potential security threat that this person presents to the current situation, and is it within our right to be able to handle it accordingly? And that's what so you bringing that up, that is what the quote unquote scary part about it is, in my perspective, is that he's where it all stops. The buck stops with him. And if he wants to do something, it's him. But I wouldn't really, I don't think of that as a free speech thing, because if that becomes like a trend on Twitter, then you're creating just like a can of worms. Like it might be harmless for him in that situation. Yeah. But like in the grand scheme of things, it can boil over to something that's a lot more.
But what I'm trying to say is, you know, he's taking over Twitter because he doesn't like the censorship, you know, of some of the people in Twitter, you know, or like banning Donald Trump, or you know, he said himself, I would want my worst critic to stay on Twitter, and I'm like, but do you really? Because he's now even starting to backtrack and he's having to clarify. Classic Elon Musk. He says something like, you know, like off the whim, and then, you know, he gets talked to and he's like, hey, you know, what you said could really open a can of worms. So he's now starting to backtrack, and he's like, with Twitter, what he's hoping to turn it into is like all legal forms of speech.
Well, because he said that he wants each country to adopt their free speech laws to the platform so they can govern it themselves.
But then this is
it's
my
tricky.
argument. Don't bill yourself as a free speech purist and absolutist when you're already setting parameters of like what kind of speech you find to be acceptable or not.
Realistically, I think when he gave the offer to the Twitter shareholders, I believe that they looked at it as like they know what the problems really are that they're not going to address with him when they make the sale complete. And he's going to find out very quickly how difficult it really is to maintain essentially like a pure platform where it is pure free speech, because it's just, you can't possibly fit the fundamentals of free speech into a platform like Twitter.
Right.
Just because like you said, like there's going to be so many things that you have to dictate. Is this a threat? Is this going to boil over into something different? That I think like these shareholders really are the winners of the whole situation, because they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, well, because he's gonna take it private.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. The shareholders that are getting bought off, from him.
But I mean, look, I'm a big supporter of free speech. I'm a big supporter of the Second Amendment. I'm a big supporter of a lot of things. But I'm also smart enough to know that freedom of speech does not mean freedom from the consequences of your words.
Correct. Absolutely.
You know, like the proverbial, you can't go into a crowded theater and shout fire without there being consequences.
That's not true, though. You can go into a movie theater and shout fire.
You can, but
if there's a fire.
You can, but if there's not a fire,
using that as an excuse doesn't work. Like, you absolutely can.
Sure, you can do a lot of things, but it doesn't mean you're free from consequences. And I think this whole partisan division that we've been getting ourselves into, is, especially in regards to freedom of speech, is pretty much it's a fake one. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
think
think
everybody has their idea. Everybody has an idea of like what free speech means to them, and especially when you bring the political argument into it. The conservatives don't like whenever liberals say certain thing and they try to censor them. And then the same thing on the left side. And, the left doesn't like things that conservatives says and then tries to censor them. Like, nobody is a free speech like purist. I'm sorry, not even Elon Musk.
Well, not in the day of social media anymore. Like in the most basic terms, if we do it in a conversation at like a bar room, yeah, free speech is definitely like a place where you like that, where you can do it, where it's face to face. But in social media, where it's something that's permanent, it's on record, it's just a lot harder to be able to fit the same standards that we did for so long. So he was talking about something that was really interesting about having like an edit button, where for a certain allotted amount of time after you make a tweet, you have the opportunity to make an edit. And the consequences of that edit is that you lose all the retweets and all the favorites, because it's not fair to the people that retweeted your post that you edit a message that you can make derogatory that they didn't want derogatory in the first place.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting, but it's just like, it can't be that easy. I feel like that's just too easy of a cop out that somebody already there hadn't already thought about. And that's the things that like I get kind of like worried about, is those issues that are very specific. Like, how do you address that kind of thing?
Well, I know another aspect to him taking over Twitter was he's trying to do away with he's trying to put their algorithms. Ooh, that was a tough one to say.
Like chronological again, right?
Yeah, but he's also trying.
Open source.
He's trying to kill off that whole echo chamber. You know what I mean? You know how like Facebook does when you look at something and then it just bombards you with information relevant to that one thing. He's trying to get rid of that echo chamber, which I'm for, because I think echo chambers are bad if you're only hearing from one point of view. I think social media, a lot of the platforms do that, and it has exacerbated, the divide in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Reddit does that a lot. I've definitely seen Twitter do that.
Reddit's bad.
Dude, Reddit is just cancer.
Which is so funny, because Reddit's where I spend most of my time, but I know that it's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at least they give you the option to separate it by chronological.
That's true. Yeah. Instead of just the top comments or whatever comments.
Yeah, you have that option, but
it's pretty easy to avoid as long as you follow things like composting or backyard chickens, or like you're not getting into some fucking divisive shit unless you're looking for it.
Have you guys seen those Indian guys on Pornhub that build pools in the middle of like the jungle?
No, I have not. I don't even.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah. So there's these like two brothers. They're like Indian guys, and they'll start with like they'll clear the land and they'll just dig it.
Like no tools, no nothing.
Yeah, they'll just dig a giant hole, and they have like a shovel, and they make stairs to this, and they build a pool in like the middle of. They do this like everywhere. They somehow make not concrete, but they make a certain type of thing with like some type of water and I guess asphalt or whatever a lot of stuff that's on Pornhub, a good amount of it is not porn. A good amount of it is stuff like that.
How underground have you gotten into that website, man?
It was this girl I had dated, this girl Amber, that she would send me stuff all the time, and some of it was porn, but some of it I was like, oh, all right, what's she sending me now? And then I was like, wait a minute, this is just a guy like out in the woods like surviving. Like what is this?
I mean, that could be considered porn by some people.
Yeah. And then it was, I think, 2018. Yeah, whenever Endgame came out, it was on Pornhub like 5 days after it came out. So like me and my friends were just like, oh, hey, Endgame's on Pornhub. Let's watch it. And it was a good. Yeah.
They leaked it onto. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it was. It was a big movie.
Who would have thought Pornhub would be at like the forefront of just being like the most progressive site ever.
Dude, I love those memes that like Pornhub came. It was like years ago. They said like, hey, for every video that's watched, we're gonna donate, or every 10 videos that's watched, we're gonna do like $1 or plant a tree or whatever. And then just the memes like this one guy, I planted a forest by myself.
I remember one meme that came out. I think it was in like 2014, after the World Cup, when Germany just decimated Brazil, and it was something about how one German fucked an entire country of Brazilians or something like that. That's the only meme I remember from Pornhub.
Dude, there was this wasn't a meme, it was like a video, but it was funny. It was on a subreddit. There's one called Tip of My Joystick, where it's like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, but like your joystick trying to remember a video game. And one of it's called like the tip of my D, where they're trying to remember the name of a porn video that they saw. And it was like, someone's like, what's the funniest porn you've ever seen? Like, it's the funniest porn I've ever seen. And they described it, and someone clicked a link to it. It's like, oh, this is it. So like, I have to click it. I have to see like what this is. So I click on the link, and it's like a girl in like her like whatnots. It's in her undies. And then it's an alien that transports into the room, and she's like, "What do you want, Mr. Alien?" And it's clearly a guy in a suit, like it's a guy in an alien suit, and he's like, "Your ass."
Like they're
unacceptable.
And then it cuts to the next scene where he's boinking her, and then she's like, "Oh, anything for galactic peace." Ah.
Sounds very Zach and Miri make a porno like.
Oh, dude, that was such a great movie.
The best is where they had the chick, and she's like, what did she say? She was about to do anal or something like that, and she's. It was.
Are you talking about the scene in Zach and Miri?
Yeah.
Oh, and she's
doing anal, and then someone like busts through the door, and she goes, and then she shits on the camera guy's face. Yeah, because she was constipated. Remember?
Yeah,
that was like,
she was like,
anal, it'll loosen everything up there,
or something like that. Aggressive.
That's such a good movie.
So aggressive.
I love Seth Rogen so much. You
see the ashtray that he made the other day?
He made an ashtray?
He said so he made a post on Instagram that said "fuck tables," and it was an ashtray that had like it was an ashtray that was made so you don't have to put it on a table, and it had its own platform. It was like a wire, like a wire frame, and you put this little ceramic ashtray in it, and he was selling it on his website. I was like, man, Seth Rogen, you are the man.
It's so cool. He's I think he's playing Donkey Kong in the Mario movie.
He's playing Donkey Kong.
Yeah, so it's all animated, and they're doing voice acting. So Chris Pratt's voice acting Mario. Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny is voice acting as Luigi.
Yeah.
Key from Key and Peele is voice acting Toad. So that's going to be hysterical.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that on Amazon, or is that like going to be a feature film?
I think it's going to be a feature film. Have you guys seen Toad sing Chandelier?
No.
Okay, so I'll just put Chandelier, Toad. It is now. I started listening to this when I was on. Oh wait, hang on.
Oh my god.
So I get to watching this or listening to this when I'm tripping with Lucy, and I could not stop laughing. It was probably the funniest thing to date that I've ever listened to.
The internet's a weird place.
The internet's so fun. I love it.
I
love everything about it.
It's the best. TikTok's the best.
I lose so much time on TikTok. It just
it's a time warp.
Still don't have a TikTok. Don't plan on getting one.
Why?
You're not on Twitter. You're not on TikTok. What the fudge?
Just get it.
We've already established I'm old. Okay.
It doesn't matter. TikTok is a time portal.
Yeah, you can go in like old people TikTok, and you just get old people. on there.
They'll teach you how to knit 30 seconds at a time.
There was a person that would make water bottles. It was this old woman down south, and she would put glitter onto these water bottles, and she would have like 80,000 people watching her on her live. She would just make fucking glitter bottles, and she would send them to a random viewer, and it was amazing. So I sat there and I watched this bitch make a glitter water bottle for like 30 minutes until I asked myself, what the fuck am I watching?
Why?
Completely sober, too. I was just like, this is great. This is content. This is what the internet was made for.
Yeah, there was this one, I don't even know how it got on my For You page. It was this woman that she had an empty fridge. And I was like, now this is weird, but she starts putting like things in the fridge. And they all fit like perfectly. She has these containers. Oh, let me put. And I was like, oh, this is like really satisfying. And then I realized I was like, I don't know. I was like watching all of her videos. Like this was not good.
They manipulate us.
Yeah.
With satisfying TikToks.
I see that they show up on Reddit, and then I just glide on by. Like,
I'm trying to think the last time I was on Reddit whenever I was reading all the Amber Heard hate, because there's like a little a Reddit forum entitled "I fucking hate Amber Heard," and that you should look it up. It's actually pretty funny.
I think that was on Off My Chest.
Huh?
I think that was on Off My Chest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
You
said that in a specific.
There's one subreddit called Fuck Mindy. And there's, and the reason behind it is because in one of the Pokemon games, like in Pokemon games, like if you get a certain Pokemon, like a Machoke or a Haunter, something that evolves with trading, and once you get it traded, it evolves. Yeah. So this one girl, Mindy, she's like, do you want me to trade this for my Haunter? And you're thinking, oh my God, when she trades me that Haunter, it's going to evolve into a Gengar. But she gives it an item so that it doesn't evolve, so it stops the evolution. So a bunch of Redditors made this like Fuck Mindy page, and every day they're just spamming hate her and hope she dies.
Fuck Mindy.
I remember me and Gutherman were watching the Twitch Plays Pokemon thing in 2014.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
That was great.
Holy fuck, that
so
happened.
So there was like 100,000 people all playing this one Pokemon game, So 100,000 people going up, left, right, and the dude was like on crack. He's going every which way, and it took normally it takes maybe like 8 to 10 hours maybe beat the first Pokemon game, and it took them 16 days nonstop. Like they were just
no way.
Yeah, they.
Oh my God!
But they beat it. They like released their starter. They accidentally
started a religion.
Yeah, it was the quickest religion to ever hit 20 million followers. It hit 20 million followers of a religion in like a couple of days, and it was the fastest to ever do that. I was like, wow.
What the fuck?
It was something.
How did you even find that?
It was on Twitch.
The internet.
Yeah, it was everywhere. It was everyone was talking. It was.
I'm pretty sure I walked into work one day and you had it up on the passenger service terminal counter computer.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Main computer. You were just sitting there watching it.
Well, no, we put it on the computer on the side because there was like 3 main computers and the computer on the side. Okay. That was the computer that we had.
Yeah, you're talking about the one that was all the way down at the other end of the counter.
Yeah, by the door.
The one that never got used.
Mr. Jones sat at.
Yeah.
No, that was
not the opposite one. The one that
is by
the USO person would sit at.
Yeah, it was that
was before they built that little USO desk that they have in there now.
They have a computer. They didn't need a computer.
They would randomly
business being at that counter.
Well, there's no reason for that base to exist. I mean,
I miss Flight Kitchen sometimes. Just like right now, I have to make my own eggs. Kind of go to Flight Kitchen and get.
How about all them?
Your own eggs is the easiest thing. Come on now.
It is
all them box nasties that we would eat, like the chicken sandwiches.
Oh
yeah.
Those motherfuckers would be complaining, oh, we can't take all because I didn't get honey mustard. Motherfucker.
and then Laher makes like she draws the meme of Batman slapping around. You will block out without your barbecue sauce.
It was always the KC-10 crews, always.
Every single
like the C-17 crews would almost always pick up their own crew meals. Sometimes they'd even pick up the PAX meals if they were both ready at the same time.
Yeah.
But it was always KC-10s who were like, nah, just have PAX bring out our food.
Yeah. I was working traffic too one time, and I can't remember his name. He went up there and started arguing with the fucking boom operators, and then they dropped our seat count. So I had to go up there and say, hey, you got all this goddamn space. Give us some seats. He was like, not after the way that your guy talked to us.
They're such princesses, man.
Yeah.
KC-10 crews, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Where my barbecue sauce?
Barbecue sauce is in the kitchen where it belongs.
Oh, I remember going to, I was the one delivering the meals, and I was just like the middle guy. And Haley's having like an argument with ATOC, and ATOC's like, why is this plane not blocked out yet? And Haley's just like, well, sir, last time they complained about not getting barbecue sauce, and we want to make sure they have a good experience. So
over the radio too.
That was,
you guys remember that time where speaking of KC-10 crews, and you guys remember that time whenever the wing commander was flying, and we forgot to put his bags on the plane, and so he had to taxi all the way back from the runway.
I don't remember that. I remember the time when a colonel retired, and I mean, I got to drive them, so I wasn't complaining. I got to pick up Eagles cheerleaders at the gate, drive them to the terminal so that they could like cheer as he comes back from his last flight as a colonel. I forget. I think he was flying KC-10, but when you're colonel, you have that power. But I don't know how much they had to pay. Like, where did that money come from? What
use of taxpayer money?
Yeah.
If you want to look for efficiency, don't look to the DoD. Well, because there's this mindset, and it's not just the DoD; it's all federal agencies to begin with. This mentality of we have this money and we have to spend it by the end of the year, otherwise we're going to get less, and that's why we continue to have such a bloated defense budget. It's because it's like, well, we spent all this money last year, so we need more money next year. Like, I mean, how long? Question: how long do you think it's going to take before we get $1 trillion defense budget? We're already at like 787.
Within the next decade, I think we get there.
Within the next decade?
Yeah.
I do feel as though the vast majority of that is payroll, though. We're paying.
Doesn't most of it go to like aircraft, and doesn't most of it go? Because I feel like we did not get paid at all.
I don't think so. I don't think it does. I think that people are way overpaid for what they're doing. When we were living in Willingboro, we were getting almost $1,000 over what rent was, just because we were stationed at McGuire.
Oh yeah, the BAH.
Yeah,
dude, I was living with Bickham. That was great.
Yeah, the benefits way outweigh the costs.
That's all tax-free too.
It keeps going up too.
But I don't think that makes up the majority of the defense budget.
You don't think so?
No, I think a lot of it. I think a lot of it, honestly, or maybe it. Yeah, no, I think a lot of it is like contractors, and purchasing of hardware. So, I mean, that is personnel in a sense, but it's a different kind.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because when people like get contracts for the government, like they $10,000 for a fucking KC-10 hot cup.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous.
It's
$10,000 for a hot cup.
And then they go like, one part on a vehicle breaks. Let's just order a new vehicle and just scrap. Oh my God, the waste. Yeah.
This
is why I left. Part of the reason.
You can't possibly audit it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like at this point, like it's impossible to do it. You're so deep into it. There's no way to go back.
I'm almost positive I read somewhere that there's $1 trillion that the DoD just can't account for.
No,
Like since 9/11, there's just $1 trillion that was spent that can't be accounted for.
You know, I would love to see what the budget was from the years of 2000 to 2003, like how much it increased in that timeline.
Actually, you know, that's weird because I was just looking this up the other day, not for that specific time frame, but I was looking up in like the difference between the defense budget like pre 9/11 and then post 9/11. And I want to say like in the immediate aftermath of 9/11, I think it doubled.
Holy
and then it's just continued. And then it's continued to go up ever since then.
Yeah, that makes sense. Raythax is a Army veteran, and these I guess drinks are on me next time.
Oh man, that's dangerous.
We'll grab you some stuff. I don't know when. I guess it'll be Gutherman and Kehley. I see relatively easily.
Us three can definitely get together.
Yeah, I guess.
Oddball. And we're way cheaper than Lyda, so
that's true.
You guys, have you guys ever seen Hunger Games?
Yeah.
That the first episode when he who was Katniss' trainer?
Peeta.
Oh, Woody Harrelson.
Not Peeta, but yeah, but like that's his real name. I'm talking about his character name.
Oh, I don't know his character name.
But you guys know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, and he's like, they're in the Capitol and he's introducing them to all these different people. And he comes to this one, he's like, don't invite him over to your house because he'll drink up all your liquor. And I'm like, that's so mean.
I love that's what you take for that movie.
Yeah. That's what I imagine some people like when they're introducing me to like others, and then they walk away and they'll be like, don't invite him over because he will drink up all your liquor.
You're the reason that I no longer keep liquor in the house.
I remember one day it was like I forget what it was. It was like for Tom's birthday, and we were just posting on like Facebook on like, hey Tom, getting older, and then Tom responds like, I'm getting older because I have you all as friends.
That
was good. Oh, Hamish. Hamish was the dude's name.
Hamish, yes. Thank you.
Alrighty. I had to move towards where the charger is, so I'm leaning you up against the rat's cage right now.
You have a rat and you haven't shown him to us yet?
It's Danielle's rat, but I'll
Goldfish, if I've ever heard about it.
This is like the two dogs that I've barely seen. What's that about?
There's 3 cats and one dog, and I'm not sure where they are right now. They're probably sleeping. They're probably just doing a chill, relaxing.
Doing a chill, bro.
But the perks of dating a veterinarian is that she has lots of animals, and it's great.
So you just get the snuggle everywhere.
I do. I got so lucky, man. I snagged a doctor, and I get to cuddle animals all day.
Chavez is like, I'm in heaven.
Yeah, dude, this is great. This is probably the happiest I've probably ever been. Like this is really good.
You deserve it.
Is it just because of the animals, or?
Well, I get an older woman, and again, doctor. Like, so I don't know what she's doing with me. She's, but yeah, no. So that's a really good perk. And then I told her she said when I opened up some animal sanctuaries in the U.S. that she would help out with them as I start. It's like, that really helps as well.
When's your timeline for that? Like, how long do you think that's going to be?
Probably end of the mid to end decade. I think that I want to start with Africa first in the Madagascar region, and then once that's kind of taken care of, then I would switch over to U.S. stuff. Take from that movie. If we don't slow down on our defense spending, we'll become a totalitarian society.
We're already on our way there.
Yeah, we're already there. What is it? 750 billion is what it just was.
I don't think the defense budget is turning us into a totalitarian state. I think it's just like narcissistic, entitled politicians that are more focused on.
It's so different now. Like
it's more focused on a divide and conquer strategy that's going to turn us into a totalitarian state, especially now where you have people running for office for the sole intent that if they don't like the outcome of an election, let's say the presidential election, oh, we'll just put forward our own alternate slate of electors so that way our guy can win.
There was a guy on that ran a campaign ad on some network the other day for some PA seat, and I forget what it was, but nevertheless, the line in the commercial that made me laugh was that he advertised himself as a Trump Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably seen it, Gutherman. You probably
the amount of
money motorcycle.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, what? Like that's where we're at.
If you're running on the political ideas of somebody else,
if you guys remember in 2020, the RNC didn't even have a platform. It was basically just whatever Trump wants.
Yeah,
but also
he bullied him.
Whatever Trump doesn't.
After he did get nominated, their big thing was the ACA. That was the big thing that they ran on, and it never happened.
Oh, the anti-ACA?
Oh, you're talking about the repeal of the Affordable Care Act?
They wanted to do they wanted to make essentially like a Trump Care Act is what they wanted to do.
Well, so you got to think.
We actually got saved by Trump policy. We didn't have health care for all of 2019.
And then how did the Trump policy?
2018, if that had been the case, we would have been paying $10,000.
You have to
because we were forced to have health care. In 2019, that wasn't the case.
Really?
Are you talking about like the tax penalty if you don't buy health care?
Yeah.
It was the Supreme Court that shot down the individual. I think it was the Supreme Court that shot down the individual mandate, or they didn't shoot the mandate down. They just back up. It wasn't the Supreme Court. It was Congress that I think reduced it to 0.
Right. So I mean, there was a lot of dumb shit going on, but when it comes to the ACA, that should have never been the case in the first place. You shouldn't be penalizing somebody for not having health insurance.
Especially when you couldn't sign up, like the website was like trash, and they can only get so many people.
In the first place, it was. I don't know if that was the case for the whole time, but I mean, even still, regardless, you shouldn't be penalizing somebody for not having something. That's just.
What's the max you can donate to a politician?
I don't know. How many businesses do you have?
I don't. Yeah,
I only have 2.
I don't remember the limits right offhand.
Because I know it's different for Congress than it is for Senate than it is for presidents. But I know like you can have like super PACs, and super PACs is like unlimited almost. Like you can go crazy with it.
Yeah, I mean honestly, that was the worst decision that the Supreme Court
that's like
made in modern history. It was the Citizen United case, pretty much allowing the floodgates to open in terms of how much money that is not tracked could flow into campaigns from corporations. Like if our politicians weren't already bought before that, they're definitely bought and paid for now.
Yeah, easily. Like especially when you look at someone like Nancy Pelosi or any politician that goes and they start with no money, and suddenly, like a few years later, they're all millionaires. It's like, this is
like as much of a joke it is. Like there was a person that made a website based off of the public stock trades that Nancy Pelosi's making, and everybody made like a 50% return.
Yeah. Well, because her husband works in the industry.
It's a conflict of interest, but
all you need trading is what it is.
Yeah, well, when she got pressed on that news conference after it was a couple months ago, and they were like, "Do we need to revise the insider trading or the whatever the Stock Act was?" And she was like, "No, I think it should be a free market." And it's like, what are you talking about? Like I feel like any normal person would agree that needs to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you're in the system and benefiting from it, you're the only person that would try to dissuade anybody from not doing that.
Yeah.
Well, this is why. First of all, this is why there needs to be term limits, and to some extent, I think there needs to be age limits. I mean, Dianne Feinstein from California, the bitch is 90 years old. So
She's
yes, she's
slipping
on mental,
mentally too. That's the funny part.
huh?
She's
The mental
slipping
decline,
mentally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did
But
you
like,
see
why
her,
are
like,
you 90 making decisions for a populace who's like average is like what in the 40s now?
yeah, it's like half her age. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
The cap should be about 70. You shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
well,
think
there
70
goes like
is
half
fair
our
age.
politicians
Like,
though.
70 now is a lot different than what 70 was 20 years ago.
And these
Yeah.
people are living for fucking ever, man.
Mhm.
So good. Have you heard about the so like from like CEOs to like superstars, what they'll do is a study came out with Dr. Rhonda Patrick like 8 years ago or 10 years ago, stating that if they take blood of like young mice or young rats and inject it into older mice
Are
or
you talking
rats,
about like adrenochrome kind of stuff?
I don't know what but the older rat starts acting younger. So what like the CEO of PayPal and what the like Sandra Bullock has done it is they don't like farm them, but they have like 18-year-olds on payroll and they essentially blood dope with them. Like they inject
like adrenochrome. Like the whole like California Hollywood celebrity, like
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is what you said, but like a lot of people subscribe to the idea that they're killing babies, taking their blood, and using that as like rejuvenation. Because like Jeff Bezos is also a guy that's invested a lot of money into these rejuvenation projects or regeneration projects of making reverse aging. Because he like Elon Musk during that TED Talk last week that came out, he was asked about that directly about why are you as infatuated about regeneration and reverse aging as guys like Jeff Bezos, and he was just like not interested in it. It's kind of weird, actually. I was surprised.
Well, I mean, he said he wouldn't want to live forever, even if he could put his consciousness into something, which I feel like, if you're really smart, you probably should. You have like a duty to live for a long time, but
I feel like the only person or persons who's conscious, like we should like download if we had the technology then, was Stephen Hawking.
Oh, dude!
You remember when Stephen Hawking died, and I messaged you, Chimchuck, with like crying emojis, and you were like, "Fuck, can we like download his brain before we bury him?"
I have the I have the idea of like his DNA is definitely out there, so you could probably try to fund like clone of him. I don't know. I'll let you guys know how much things are when I get that amount of money. I'll be like, all right, it costs this much to clone people, costs this much to do whatever. I don't know what I do.
It's probably just going to be one of those things that only the rich and powerful can afford. You ever seen the movie The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, but I love him.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's an old one, but it's a good one. But it's basically the laws in the country at the time are, cloning is banned because there's a lot of ethical issues surrounding it. But in reality, the rich and powerful are still paying to clone themselves. If they die, they become cloned and pick back up where they left off.
Oh, that's interesting. I think augmenting, if you have like people do it all the time, like women do it with makeup. I'll do it next year. I'll get the hair plug and I'll fix my teeth. So people augment themselves all the time. So like now they're just augment them into another body. I think also if you have like a Neuralink chip and somebody else has it probably wouldn't be a far stretch to say like, oh, you have a Neuralink chip, so does this person. And you're about to die, but this person's in like a coma or whatever. So you can transfer your memories and consciousness to this person, and then
that's kind of like that Black Mirror episode a little bit. Like you're getting.
I haven't seen that one. Tell me about it.
It's like the first or second one, but essentially what happens is that like it just reminded like what you were talking about reminds me of it because this husband watches he knows his wife cheated on him because he can see from the perspective of her cheating on him and she lies about it.
Oh.
But like the fact that you can transfer data like that like interpersonally between people to see things from their perspective.
Yeah.
Like if you do have a Neuralink and you're able to access certain things like that, like why aren't you? Because nobody knows where memory is stored. Memory isn't definitively supposed to be in the brain. It can be anywhere else in the body. So what if you find and compartmentalize exactly where stuff like memory, where your consciousness actually is in your brain?
I thought they already found that. It's like in the hippocampus, I thought.
That's where
it's theorized to be there. I don't think it's definitive. Like that's where it is.
I think that's where certain ones are stored.
For all intents and purposes, I definitely think that's where it's at. But I don't think there's a medical study that directly says definitively it's there. But it's just like it's such a weird thought to think that you could really just like data mine, or you can just download people's memories onto different forms of brains and have different consciousnesses in different spots. Like that's such a weird concept to me. But like, why wouldn't you be able to do that?
I would love it. Because there are things that I wish I could remember that I just don't. Like your mind stores it somewhere. So if you can put that somewhere, maybe you could help. I don't know.
My worry would be like who that technology, like whose hand that technology gets into, like say the government. You're being tried for a murder. You're pretty much saying you're claiming innocence and that you didn't do it, and then the government gets a warrant to search your memories.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, could you imagine? It's like worse than finding a browser history.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I don't even think it would be. You wouldn't even be able to get a warrant in the beginning. They would just be able to do it because it'd be the wild, wild west.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beginning,
and like they'd make you sign a contract, like as that would be worked into the military contract. We can get into your brain at any moment because of OPSEC. Like I guarantee you that's what it would.
Yeah.
Nobody pays attention to that anyway. I've been seeing some wild shit recently regarding OPSEC.
Yeah, I've seen that on TikTok a lot. People just...
Oh my God, it's insane.
Yeah. Just disregarding any idea of it.
No.
I feel uncomfortable posting anything with me in uniform.
Here's my problem. Here's my issue with that is I really hate that mentality of do as I say, not as I do. For example, whenever the joint base was housing all the Afghan refugees, and one of the first things that came out was a general order, like a blanket prohibition on any kind of like filming or taking pictures. And then what's the very next thing that happened? All these colonels and generals are like taking pictures with him. And I'm like, aren't we all supposed to be under this fucking blanket ban?
Fucking news was showing up.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a secret they were there.
Yeah. So that was just like another kind of like nail in the coffin for me of like, I'm fucking done with this bullshit here. Like
that much?
Huh?
It took that much?
No, that was just like one of the second year in coffins. Like, no matter the fact that they tried to send me to jail for something that I didn't do, it was that blanket ban. Damn it!
But it's so true though. Like even like, why do you remember when they let the Afghans go? They really didn't tell anybody about what they were doing with them. They essentially just let them go. Like almost like free fall out of a plane. So
whenever Kabul fell and they were flying in the Afghan refugees from Afghanistan and forwarded on from like Germany and France. Mainly Germany was the big bulk that they were flying in from. So I was actually part of the escort team, picking them up at the airport and then escorting them on the bus back to the base. And I remember one of the first briefs we got from when we got to the airport was that if at any point like they want to get off the bus and just make their own way into the U.S., you got to let them. Can't stop them.
That's the refugee laws. Yeah.
So
like the big restriction,
which nobody did. Nobody, from what I knew, like nobody did. Like
the
they
big
stayed
thing on the base
the
was if they left the base, that like they couldn't come back, but they were legally allowed to leave the base at any time. So at the refugee camp, they had like security forces there that would stand at these posts like ECPs, but they were more of a show of force, like an invisible fence.
Yeah.
They weren't really, they didn't say anything about them leaving. They gave the visual that they weren't allowed to leave. But if they wanted to, they could just walk right through, get off the base, and they were good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Which I just like, I find that as such a disservice to them, honestly, more than anything. Like, that's what really upsets me about it, is like they'd be just set up for such failure to go out into society like that. It's such a shame, man. It's terrible.
I'm very thankful that my immigration process was a lot easier and I was a kid and other people did it for me.
Do you remember any part of that?
Nah. I remember when I became a citizen, I was like 5 years old and they took me out of school. They made me wave like a little tiny American flag. And so what they didn't
sounds like out of a movie.
Yeah, like they had Oreos for everyone in like the little they had Oreos in like the little like reception area thing.
Imagine if they did that for babies out of the womb. They put a flag in their hand.
But yeah, I remember being pissed that like they didn't tell me like when we were leaving, oh yeah, we're gonna come right back. But they lied and like I didn't get as many Oreos as I wanted. I was like, oh man, I only got 2. Like I wanted to eat like 5 more.
Like an American baby. That's what I like to hear. Gluttonous.
How is it that you were able to be adopted and not made a citizen in the same process?
Because the citizen process takes like, or at least it did take a really long time.
That's crazy.
Still does.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I wasn't born in the country, and there's like so I don't know what would have happened if when I was brought over, let's say if the people that raised me were like committed of a crime and they get arrested, like I don't know what happened to me at that point, because I wouldn't be a citizen yet. Would they send me back?
I would
like,
get to picking oranges.
Yeah. I would assume they would send you back.
Yeah, I mean I feel like if I was like the government, like there's too much paperwork, just chuck them in like a foster care home or whatever.
I mean, unfortunately, I think that's what happens when the system just gets so bogged down with people. But that's interesting.
We're also not funding like immigration courts like we should be. That's another reason why the process takes so long, is especially for those that are like coming, like, you know, trying to claim like some kind of asylum. The immigration court, they're just not funded. They're not. And that's by intent. That's by design, because we don't want them in our country. Yep. So how do we mess up the system? We just don't fund it.
That makes sense. I could see that.
That's interesting that you consciously remember doing, like, getting your citizenship, though. That's all the steps.
I didn't know it was like a big thing. Like I remember like nobody explained to me what it was. They just said you're gonna become a citizen. But like we hadn't gotten there in school yet. I was in kindergarten and I was just like, and so everyone's like, and it was supposed to be like a big deal, but again, I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah. Like
to me, I was just like, okay, live in America, you know, whatever. And then they said, did you tell your teacher you became a citizen? Like, no. And they're like, what's wrong with you?
No.
It's a big thing. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. And then I eventually told her, and then everyone's like, and she's like, wow, that's a really big thing that you just did. How do you feel? I was like, I just want the Oreos. Like, I just
want more Oreos. You got a cold glass of milk too?
Oh, dude, I'm on a diet right now, and that sounds so good.
Dude, that is like that's such a great combination. Oreos and milk. Yeah. Like to this day, I swear to God, I will eat a sleeve of Oreos in like 30 minutes. Easy.
It takes you 30 minutes, bro. It's done in like 5 with me. Because I have a very specific process that I do when I have Oreos and
God.
Let's hear it.
Like
Let's hear it.
Lyda opens the back of his throat up.
Yeah, just all the Oreos in there. Yeah. No, this is actually weird. So what I do is I get like
as if that wasn't weird what you just said. That was normal. Yeah.
But I get a big glass of milk, specifically a cup that's like extra wide, and then I'll take a whole sleeve of Oreos, and then I'll just drown all of those cookies in the milk. And then I'll just set the milk milk and Oreos while they're drowning off to the side. And then it turns it into like a pudding, and then I'll drink all of the milk, and then I'll take a spoon and I'll eat the drowned.
Why don't you get a bowl?
Like it's cereal.
You sound like you should be in Guantanamo Bay, torturing fucking prisoners.
Weirdly enough, this is also how he treats puppies. So.
Why get a bowl at that point?
Low key, the best Oreo though, golden Oreos, without a doubt.
Gold Oreos?
Gold.
Are you kidding me? You haven't had golden Oreos?
Oh, you know what? I know what you're talking about now.
You ever had Snackwells?
Yeah.
The Vienna cookies?
No.
So think of like an Oreo, but it's shortbread instead of like the chocolate cookie on the top.
You're not gaining me with this. Like I don't like it.
Listen,
you're really not making the
next time you go to look for Oreos, go in that aisle. You'll find a yellow package that's golden Oreos. Get them. Life changing.
All right. When I'm off my diet, I will totally do that.
They're not as dunkable though.
Then what's the point?
They're more raw. Like you raw dog a golden Oreo.
Christ.
Oreos,
man.
Okay, I can dig that. I can dig raw dog and an Oreo.
They're so good though. Oh my god.
Right. Hey, before we leave, when is the next time we can get on a podcast? Hopefully with Benton.
I'm good during the week, almost any day of the week.
You let me know. I'm really not sure what my hours are going to be, but around 8:30 should be fine no matter what.
Okay.
I'm on terminal leave until middle of August.
All right, so I'll put it in for like May 20th.
May 20th. That should work for me.
It's a Friday.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Wait, Lyda, are you going to be going out?
I'm having a party for my son on the 21st, so
probably not.
That'll work.
Yeah,
Okay.
May 20th. Let's do it. Let's lock it in.
All right, podcast, everyone. All right, it's in the calendar.
I'll put it in mine too, so I don't forget.
We've been at it for a little over 3.5 hours. Any final thoughts before we bounce?
I just miss you guys.
Honestly. Oh my god! Honestly,
Miss you too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say that I miss you guys. No, I'm just fucking with you.
Okay, I miss you and Kehley, and John can go fuck himself.
See if I ever share the liberal agenda with you ever again.
You refused to. You were like, no, it's too much.
Yeah, you don't want to be scarred for life because you will. Oh, some of them videos will scar you for life.
That's absolutely terrifying.
Some shit that the Marines shared with us in Iraq that I didn't appreciate. I think whatever you got's pretty all right.
Oh god, that must have been so aggressive.
That must have been great. What did they share? Like them just like doing shit to dead bodies and just like put them in front.
No. It was regular porn, but like in an irregular way.
It was regular porn, but what?
In an irregular way.
Wait. You have to expound on that.
Yeah, I was about to say, what do you mean by in an irregular way?
What are you talking about in an irregular way?
Woman do some stuff that I'm not proud of.
You watched it in person?
No, not in person.
Oh, see, that's the way you made it sound.
Well, I'm sorry. It's not something I like talking about. It was.
Is there anything irregular when it comes to sex nowadays? Anyway, like, is that a? I don't feel like that's a term that doesn't even fit.
No such thing as a kink.
Yeah, I think everything's on the table at this point.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I feel like the whole like that kind of like sex being regular went out the door whenever some people liked being defecated on. You want to clean steamer?
Once the internet became a common thing,
boat, man. Let me tell you about that. You know what glass bottom boat is?
Huh?
Glass bottom boat.
I don't.
So so if you want to be shit on, you go underneath a glass table, like a glass coffee table, and then somebody shits on the glass table, and then you scream Tony Danza after you shit on the glass table. I don't know why. It was on Urban Dictionary a long time ago. It stuck with me.
I feel like anytime I have to look up something on like Urban Dictionary, I have to like get into a hazmat suit.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, Mop Ford. Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Oh, we should end it on that beautiful note of
Dude, we
Cleveland
just
Steamers and Tony Danza.
Yeah. Next podcast is when I turn the big 3-2.
3-2.
You guys
Can't
are so
wait.
old.
Yes,
Oh,
Kehley, not
fuck
all of
you.
us can still be young and pretty like you, okay?
I'm just trying my best, guys.
And not all of us can pack big old meat sticks either, apparently.
It's not my fault.
Well, you're the one
Big
out here
things come
bragging
in
about
small
it.
packages.
Hey guys, look, I'm standing on my third leg.
Well, I'm going to we're gonna hang on for a sec. I'm just gonna end the broadcast. Thanks for everyone stopping by. Thank you all for the super chats. I love you all.